And I can't remember which one this was. That will suffice. Alright, everybody have the MOTD? Read it, good to go? Remember what happened last week?
Yep. We made it through the 4 rooms. And now we have the last room.
Yep. With some help from a Miotau named Parthios, who has been helping you through this so far. Well, he's not been a huge help, but he's been there with you anyway. Alright, so where we left off, of course, you guys had just finished that last room, and kind of made your way back down into the tunnels below. Hang on, let me turn this down a little bit. The little corridors that lead up to the last room. When he leads you back down there, he points to that northern room, the one that's up at the end of the hallway. There's a door there, and the 4 locks have opened, and the door is open. And as he leads you down to it, you see that there's kind of the chamber kind of opens up a little bit before the doorway, and there's benches on either side. Since the door is not open yet, he kind of looks at it for a second. He says, "Well, at least from what I've seen, anyways, it sounds like the arena masters they're not ready for us yet. They'll still be preparing up there. So we've got a few minutes to catch our breath. So we might as well spend it wisely." And he just sits down on one of the benches. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna use 2 of my sorcery points and get a first level slot back.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are pretty burned as far as your resources. So just uncheck one of your spell slots if you didn't already, for first level. Time-wise, from what he's told you anyways, it seems like it's probably going to be long enough. I'll say that you guys can actually go ahead and take a short rest. So you'll get some stuff back. What do you guys get back on short rests? Anything good?
Where do I find that?
There's no specific list. It's just an individual ability. Some are long rest, some are short rest. Like your wild shapes are long rest, for example. Rages are long rest, so you're not getting your rages back.
I think I'll rest mine are short, though.
You didn't use your tribal endurance or tribal fury, I don't think, did you?
No, actually, I don't think I did, but I think I'd get those back anyway. I think so far my rages are the only thing that are long rest.
I think so.
But I still got inspiration to pop up that last rage anyway, though.
Yeah.
Do I get any spell slots back with a short rest?
So you don't get I think it's only warlocks that get spell slots back on a short rest, but what you can do is you have an ability called Natural Recovery for being a land druid, which for you specifically you can pull... let's see, I think it's 2 total. It is combined level that is equal to or less than half of your druid level rounded up. So your druid force, you get 2 spell slot levels. So you can basically get 2 level 1 slots or 1 level 2 slot back if you want to use that for the short rest.
Okay, I'll get 2 first level slots.
Okay.
And then, do I still have inspiration?
You used yours. I think, well, so I just marked off your natural recovery for you. Okay. All 3 of you had it. Becky, what did you use yours for? Do you remember?
I think I used mine to heal, didn't I? Yeah, I used it on my hit die.
Okay. Well, you can also use hit dice to heal, but 2, by the way, since we're in a short rest. Fox, do you remember what you used yours for?
No.
You have recovery and swift action. I don't remember. Yeah, I think didn't you use it to dash or something?
Maybe.
To get out of one of the rooms faster. I can't remember. You definitely didn't use the recover. At least I don't remember using the recover.
No, and I know I remember using the dash, and then we got inspiration, and then I don't remember using it.
Well, you didn't have it to start with. You just got one. All 3 of you got it in the middle, and Norok hasn't used his yet. But I definitely remember Sarah using hers. I don't remember what you used yours on. I just see that it's marked off.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you can use hit dice though to heal yourselves if you guys need to. So, like for right now, at least, Arteme is really jacked up. Norok and Seraphina both are pretty close, but you might as well use your hit die if you want to.
Does I have hit die?
No, but she got shocked, so she only has 2 hit points left.
Yeah.
I mean, odds of her getting hit are usually pretty low. That was just because it was an area thing that the wall got zapped.
Yeah.
Did you use all of yours, Fox?
No, I still have one left.
You have 2 left, it looks like. Yeah, you've got 2 left right now. You used 2, and you have 2 left.
Oh.
But you still have a good amount of health lost. You're still down 8 HPs. There you go, that's better.
Oh, so we have 4 hit die. I thought we had 3.
No, you get 1 for every level, so whatever levels you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright, anything else you guys want to use during your short rest? Or do during your short rest?
Nope. I'm just gonna use my inspiration to get that rage back. So
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and do that now.
Alright. Where the hell are the birds coming from? Oh. Apparently if I just roll a flat d20 I get a bird sound? Is that where that's coming from?
I don't know.
It's not one of you guys, I assume, right?
No.
No.
Where the hell is that noise? Here, let me see.
Okay, I'm hearing a fire crackle now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too, which means it's coming from...
Birds.
Yeah, I just hit stop and it stopped. That's weird. So if I just roll... Well, I mean, it faded out. If I just roll a flat d20, apparently, because unless there was something else, let's see. It might have been hit dice. Yeah, I bet it was because you guys were the short rest. The party taking a short rest, that's what it was. Okay, there we go. Oh shit, God damn it, I just cleared it. I needed those numbers. I didn't mean to clear it. Does it clear it for you guys when I do that too? Did your chat window disappear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got lucky, because what I rolled the second time was not as good as what I rolled the first time. Alright. Okay, so I have that all set up. Some of these... Alright, let me turn that one down too. They need individual volume levels for some of these. Alright, she's only down 2 hit points now, so she's odds of her getting hit are usually pretty low anyways, but
I just thought I'd heal her anyway.
that's a character appropriate thing, because I'm sure Artemis would be concerned with Sai's health even though she's like immortal. So Alright, so while you guys are doing this, Parthios is kind of patching himself up a little bit, just with little bits of cloth that are left in this room for bandages, basically. This is kind of the purpose of the waiting in this room here. He won't get a full hit die, though. He's only going to get... That's something. He's still not as bad as he was. He's basically in better shape now, and now that he's caught his breath and everything as well. He says... these here, I mean, I've never gotten into this room myself. I usually get knocked out, in the first or second challenge. So, I mean, first, thanks for kind of helping me along through this. But I got to tell you, this room is usually the hardest one, and I've watched as a crowd member lots of times for this. They usually involve running around and kicking a ball into a goal, or lighting braziers, or climbing rock walls, all while fighting off some whoever the current arena champion is. Which right now just happens to be Borok, so he's a mean bastard, so this is going to be bad news for us anyway, but, just be prepared. This will be tough. Usually it's basically whatever the challenge is, and then we have to kind of also deal with whoever the champion is, sometimes multiple, that'll be attacking us the whole time. So it's going to be tough, so, whatever else you guys might need to do to be prepared for. I see, and he looks over at Sarah, he says, I see you still have your kind of tinkling skin, so you're probably okay, but if there's anything else you guys need to prepare for, now's the time.
How long have we been here?
It's been, actually, Artemis would know for sure, it's been half an hour total. Not very long at all.
Okay.
You still have your disc, by the way. I actually got a token for you too, so we'll throw that once you're in there.
I was
But
just wondering to know if my disc was still up.
yeah, I think it's an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, ours
Yeah.
it's still up for another
Yes.
half hour.
So you'll still have that if you need to. I need to check something on that actually real quick. Let me look at that spell. Not necessarily relevant for you guys. I'm just curious if, what the... Oops, I actually hit the wrong button for that, but... Let's see. 3 feet diameter. That's interesting. Okay, I just wanted to check something to see if something could be used in a certain way. All right, he's as you guys are kind of preparing this, and your disc is just floated in behind you guys into this small chamber here. He says, If we can manage some way to kind of play up the performance for the crowd, though, they might help us. He says, I've seen losses turn into wins because the crowd was in their favor, so just keep that in mind. If there's some way to, appeal to the crowd, they already like you anyway, then, maybe they'll throw us something, or maybe they'll, distract or throw something at Borox and, knock him in the head or something, maybe knock him off of whatever, platform he's standing on, that kind of thing. They can always be helpful for us. As long as they like us, we have a much better chance of winning. And so far, you guys haven't seemed to have done anything to piss them off, so. And at that, if there's nothing else you guys need to do while you're waiting here, you hear the door click. There's just a click on the other side of the door. And he kind of puts his hands on his knees and stands up, and he says, well, I guess that's our call. So if you're ready, we might as well head on in.
Does short rest allow for changing spells? Sorry.
No, that's long rest.
No, okay. Okay, we're good then.
It doesn't... Wait, oh shit. I could have sworn Wild Shape is long rest. Becky, isn't Wild Shape long rest?
I thought it was.
I didn't do my wild shapes though. Well, I used them, but I didn't.
Yeah, you used them. No, you didn't. And I actually just looked at it. It says you regain expended uses when you finish a short or a long rest.
Oh.
That is crazy overpowered. Geez, you could, theoretically, if you take the most encounter days are usually supposed to be, as far as the general rules are concerned, like the kind of default rules, are 2 short rests and 1 long rest per day. Long rest meaning, when you actually go to sleep for the whole night, which means that you would theoretically have 6 wild shapes in any given day. That's insane.
Well, it's not like I use them too much.
No, the last session was really the time that you've used them the most. You actually used both in one session, and that's the first time you've ever done that.
Yeah, it was strategic.
Yeah. And the animal choices that you've picked, or your wild shape forms that you've picked, are used almost utilitarian, I guess. They're not really combat options so much, other than being, a sack of HPs. Because keep that in mind, too. Anytime you're in wild shape, the HPs that you get hit, anytime you get hit, come off of the wild shape first, and then you just revert back to your elf form. So you still have all your elf HPs, which means you can use it as an ablative, like a buffer for your health, basically, if you know you're going to get hit. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to get new shapes later on.
Yeah, it's just something you get. When you have a short rest or time to do so, then you can, study animals and stuff like that. Obviously, short rest while you're sitting down there when there's not really any animals around, probably not much studying to be done. But
no.
Okay, everybody ready to head in?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Parthios heads over to the door. It's a big double door, and he kind of pushes on the inside of one of it, and it swings open. It is very bright out there again, of course. It's now, it's only 8:30 a.m., but it's a nice bright morning. There is just booming hooves banging against the rafter seat, the bleacher style seating up there. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the map, and I'll drop you guys on here and make Sarah small and make Norak big and Parthios big. Oh, he's actually already. There we go. All right. As you come up the stairs, you see that there is actually a sack sitting next to the stairs. Basically, the door is open, and then it went to stairs, and the stairs come up to this big arena that you've all stepped out into. Let me adjust this a little bit here. Assuming that you guys are facing the way that you've come out anyway. But there's a sack on the ground, basically, along with a rusty dented shield, a heater style shield. You know what a heater is?
Yeah.
It's the kind of tradition when you see an icon of a shield, that's called a heater, where it's got a square top and then kind of a pointed bottom. That's a heater. It's when people think of shields, that's usually what they're thinking of, is heater shield. All right, and there are 2 Miotau here, one standing in the center. It's the one that originally introduced you when you came in. Very big, very angry looking bull. And then there is another that is dressed similar to the shaman that was in the previous challenge, and he's standing on top of one of these 4 pillars. And these pillars are about 10 to 12 feet or so tall, and square at the top, and he's standing on top of one of them. And he's way up off the ground, whereas the bigger one, Borox, is just in the middle. The bigger one kind of is just standing there, nostrils flaring, looks ready to fight as soon as you guys kind of initiate, as soon as you guys step into this room. But as soon as you've stepped up here, there's that bag on the floor, and then the shield and there's a longsword, a rusty longsword that's sitting next to it, a rusty shield, rusty longsword. Which is, these are, you presume, being the things that you've earned essentially so far for how far you've gotten. But around the outside wall of this big arena are 8 braziers. You guys are standing next to one, and then there are 7 surrounding them. You see those circles? The little circle that's right by you guys?
Yeah.
So there are 8 of them total. And Parthios, on seeing this as he comes up, he says, "Okay, I've seen this one before. We are going to have to light those, but to get the things to light them, we have to do it, a certain way. You can't just use magic or something. We're going to have to steal keys, one off of each of them, and then unlock those doors over there, those grates. And one of them should have a lighter, and one of them will have some kindling, and then we have to go around and light all those. So that's what we got to do." He says, "I've seen worse. This one's at least achievable. It's hard, but it's achievable." Do you guys have any questions on how to do it? What we need to do?
Nope.
I don't think so.
All right, because as soon as we step off of this entryway here, he's going to come at us.
What's in the bag?
I mean, you might as well look. Usually they throw potions and things like that down.
Okay. Can I check? I'll check the bag then.
Sure. Inside you find 4 more healing potions.
Okay. I'll just divide them up equally.
Okay. There'll be one for each of you then. And then there's that old dented heater shield and a rusty longsword there as well. So if each of you want to change your potion healing, change your quantity to 1. And then we'll mark them off as we go.
I already did, because I didn't change mine since I actually had one outside of the arena. So now we'll just represent that I had one again. I just wasn't going to, because I just didn't erase it last time, since I actually still have one from not.
Yeah, you have. So. Yeah, you have, with your box of stuff, you have one, and Artemis has 2 back there. But as far as here in the arena, you each have 1.
All right. Are you guys okay if I take the shield, or do one of you guys want it? Because I figured I'll hold off the big guy. You guys can run for the braziers.
I won't be able to lift it, so have fun.
That's true.
Speaking of, by the way, as Parthios has described it, you guys have to steal each of these Miotau is carrying a key, and you have to steal it off of them. And then once you get it off of them somehow, and obviously they're going to be fighting you for this, you have to use that to unlock one of those grates, and those grates you have to lift up, and those grates look very heavy. Not that a small halfling couldn't pull it off, but it would be an effort for a halfling, where it'll be, basically below the passive threshold for something like Norok to do.
Okay, so Norok's gonna be charged with opening the grate.
Well, they're not necessarily that heavy. Basically, you guys, what I'm saying is you guys can try it, you'll just have to make a roll for it, but it is below Norok's threshold for his passive, meaning that he wouldn't have to make a roll for it because he would automatically succeed. The same way that you might, like if your wisdom is high enough, you might automatically notice something instead of having to make a roll for that. That's called a passive check. Basically, you wouldn't roll, I would just tell you that you noticed something. In this case, this would be a passive strength level, and for, like Norok's modifier is a +4 for his strength, Sarah's is only a +2, which is actually a lot higher than I thought, so yeah, both Artemis and Sarah have a +2. I thought Sarah's was quite a bit lower. But both of you would have to make a roll. It's not a very high DC. Like it is totally an achievable DC. You just would have to, make a roll for it, whereas Norok would just automatically be able to do it.
Okay.
But that also means, if you're going to have Norok try to lift those grates, he wouldn't be intercepting, presumably, Borox or possibly the Shaman. And again, the Shaman is way up in the air. Remember, he's 12 feet up in the air. And you still have to get a key off of him.
Mm-hmm.
So with that kind of tactical discussion, you guys don't have very long. The crowd is cheering, of course. They're happy to see everyone, but they could get impatient, and Parthios has warned you throughout this so far to not let them get too impatient with you. But he says, so, I mean, any more questions? Are you guys ready to get started? Because, I mean, he's looking angry already, and I don't know if I want to keep him waiting.
I'm ready. I'm just going to pick up that shield.
Okay.
Put it on.
You taking the longsword too? You're going to keep using that axe that you picked up?
I'm assuming the damage is the same on both of them, correct?
No, the longsword's up to 1d. It's a d10 if you're using both-handed. If you're going to use the shield as well, because it's versatile. If you're going to use the shield also, then it's 1d8, which is higher than your axe.
Okay, I'll pick up the sword then.
Okay. Let me throw those
I'll
on
put
your...
the axe on my side. So I can throw the axe, right? Can I put it on my side? Do I still have
Yeah, it's a hand axe. Yeah, you can. Yep.
Perfect.
I mean, you have your clothes, so yeah, you do.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna drop. Just remember that we need to take these off later because your AC is gonna go up with the shield. You can use a shield while you're raging, right?
Yeah. I can. My unarmored defense.
Oh.
works with shield too.
It does?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't for monks.
I'm almost definite. I'll go look again though.
You're probably right. It's probably just a special thing for monks. Unarmored defense. You can use a shield and still get it. Cool.
Yep.
All right. That's handy to know. You might want to get one just to have for, if you're going to wade into something, just to throw it up before you get to something and then throw it on your back and pull that Vulcan or something instead.
Yeah, actually, I'll remember to do that when we get back to the. I wanted to go by the smithy and let the smith check out Vulcan anyway. I'll see if he has a shield for sale.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark it as equipped, and I'm going to put delete me in here just to remind myself to delete it later. Or you can delete it. Doesn't matter, but I just want to leave it. I mean, unless you want to steal a rusty old busted shield. Not that it exactly matters, but... All right, and a longsword as well. All right, both are equipped, so they are... Yeah, they're on your inventory now. You're good. Your AC would be 16. Yep, cool. You're all set. All right, and then if you guys are ready to go, go ahead and roll initiative. And Fox, if you'd give me 2, one for Sai. All right, so Sai's got a 10, and Parthios got a 7. All right, that is not good for an Auroch. But if you guys, I mean, if you would have fanned out in that way, that's fine. Otherwise, go ahead and place yourselves real quick for, what order you think you would have come out at, basically. Or where you would be kind of standing while Parthios was discussing how this thing would work. Go ahead and move yourselves to that location.
Would have been about the same. I just would have been in the front, so
Okay.
But roughly.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to give you, an opportunity for where you would have started yourself. I'm going to put you on a whole square here. That probably would have been too far. Probably right there, actually. Because any further, and then Borox would probably start getting mad. All right. Then, if you guys are ready to go, it is Artemis' turn first.
Okay.
So you've got an angry bull in the... Basically, as soon as you start acting, there's going to be, things will start happening too. But, I forgot the...
Here,
Okay.
and use Spike.
Okay. Let me get you your token here. I need to edit these tokens to have a semi-transparent background so that I can change the size a lot easier. 15 radius? 20 radius?
20 foot.
20? 20 diameter or 20 radius?
20 foot radius.
Damn. All right. You can put it back here in a second. I'm just getting it to the right size. There you go. A little bit bigger. There you go. All right, go ahead and place it wherever you want it. And mark off
That's
your
perfect.
spell slot and target
Already
them.
did.
Throw the... Okay. Did you... are they... I always forget. Are they initially affected by it, or is it just when they try to move through it?
When they try and move through it,
Okay.
they'll see it pop up.
Yeah, they see it because they're already... it's already there, of course, so... All right. Then the ground, of course, starts to crystallize into these shards of glass that kind of jet up under their feet and all around them, giving you some space anyways. Any bonus actions? Fox?
Nope.
Okay. G, you already hit your inspiration to give your rage back. Okay, cool. All right,
Yeah.
It is Sarah's turn. Your mage armor's still up, by the way.
Yeah, Shaman's up on a pillar, right?
Yeah, he's 12 feet up in the air. Well, his feet are 12 feet. His head is 15 feet up. 18 feet up.
Okay. Then I'm going to use darkness, and I'm going to use my sorcery points.
Okay. You're just gonna try to block these guys into this fucking field where they can't see and can't move?
Yep.
That's a cool effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was... You know what? I think it played it twice. I think it was her using sorcery points. Just to test hit sorcery points again, Becky? And then just mark it back. No, it was darkness. Okay. I thought I heard it twice, but I guess not. Okay, go ahead and take that sorcery point back.
Yep, good.
You have all 4 marked off. Have you used all 4?
Yeah, I used 2 to get a first level slot back, and it's 2 to use darkness.
Oh, okay. And that one you can see through when you cast it that way, so that's good to know. All right, let me see if I have a token for that. If you do me a favor, throw the effect for darkness. Throw it on the both of them, since they're inside.
Okay. It says that I can put it on an object, so I'm trying to put it on the shaman himself.
Okay. And what's the radius that it covers?
15 foot.
Okay. Then if you're putting it on him, well, you try to ruin my fun every time, Becky. Anytime I try to do something fun, you're like, no, I got a thing that'll stop that from happening. All right, let's see, 15 foot, 10. There we go. So he's, I would say you probably just, throw it on something of his, equipment or something, but he's wearing pretty simple stuff. I guess give me a general idea of, what you would throw it on him.
Probably whatever type of clothing he's wearing.
Okay, all right, so not something he's holding in his hands then, but something he's got on. Okay. The reason I asked that is because if he could figure, if he was potentially smart enough to realize where the source of it was, because basically if it's something like, a ring and he covers his hand and then the darkness disappears, because you can cover it. So basically if you cover the thing that the darkness or the light is coming from, you can cover it and then it disappears. If he figured that out on accident, then, he would be able to potentially undo what you've done there. But if you're putting it on like something he's wearing, the odds of him figuring that out are going to be pretty minimal. So Barks is just outside of that, so if you would go ahead and put the effect on just the shaman for me. Well, that's going to make it a little interesting because you personally are the only one that's going to be able to see through that. So you're the only one that can see him as this kind of bubble of darkness fills up around him all the way down to the ground, or very close to the ground anyway. Meaning that for you to get a key off of him, like, you're going to be the only one that can do that potentially without fumbling in the dark. So, but anyways, that's an interesting tactic for sure.
But if I can knock him out and knock him off the pillar,
sure,
then I can not concentrate on darkness anymore, and then anyone can grab it.
Yeah, that's true. They both look pretty burly too, so knocking them out might be difficult, and that isn't your primary goal, but it is, a way of succeeding. What's that, Fox?
And if he tries to move, he'll get hit by spike.
You know what? Actually, the spike growth. If it's 20 foot radius, it would be up to the bottom because the pillar is only 12 feet up. So the pillar itself has spikes coming off of it as well. Actually, the surface of it.
There's like a range. It doesn't see it like there. It gets blocked for like.
Yeah, because I think it's. I mean, if it's a sphere, then it would cover up and down basically. So meaning it would cover walls and everything as well. So I think it does. I don't think it's just a Z plane, right? Let's see here.
I don't know.
I don't think it is. I would give you, at least for right now, either way. If we change it later, that if the rules say later, or otherwise, then later we would do it differently. But it does just say the ground. Actually, it says the ground in 20 foot radius. But for now, because I've already said that I would think that would, cover a sphere. That for now, at least, it's also covering the walls, the sides of that pillar as well, up to, and actually the pillar on the bottom too.
Okay.
So those pillars both from the top to the bottom are covered in spikes as well. But next time, just keep that in mind that it is only the ground apparently.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. I got your token.
Like if he moved off of it, he'd end up in spikes, wouldn't he?
Yeah. If he goes down to either way, but for now, anyways, we'll just because I've already ruled that anyways, that it would follow down to the bottom. That is your disc too, by the way, in case that becomes relevant. It just kind of floats along behind you, so it'll just be trying to follow you basically throughout. Okay, any bonus actions for Sarah?
Not right now, but I am going to move.
Okay. You see a kind of confused look, and then almost a grin of it's going to play that. It's every time it sees darkness, it saw that because it was this guy's turn now, which actually tells you kind of a little bit cheating for you guys, but not that it matters. I mean, I'll just tell you it was the shaman's turn anyway. But you see a confused look across his features. Sarah's the only one that can see this, and then kind of a grin that almost looks like a surprised kind of pride almost. And then you see, again, only you. See him snap his fingers and he disappears for a brief second, and then there's a flash of purple and he reappears on the pillar back behind him, and that I moved the Fox, go ahead and move that back. Did I get that right where you had it?
Yeah, it's about right where you
I think it was back-ish one, like here-ish.
Yeah, a bit.
Okay. Where he reappears, though, the cloud of darkness just instantly kind of pops back up around him all the way around, and he looks confused again. But that is it for his turn because he's not going to try to blast out of that for now. Sai's turn. Did she do anything? Oh, I didn't put her on the map.
Not right now.
Okay. Then it is Parthios' turn. He kind of grins at Sarah and is going to. He rushes. Let's see, past the disc, so he has to go around 5, 10. He can make it to here, but then he stops when he sees the glass sticking out of the ground, and is just trying to keep himself with the pillar between him and Borox to see if Borox will come near him. Borox's turn, actually. He looks down at the ground, looks out at the three of you, and then just starts stomping through it as if like a challenge to this not being a concern for him. He is going to move. Is it considered harsh terrain?
Yes.
Difficult terrain. Okay. Is 40. All right. So he can make it to here. Is 20. That's as far as he can get. So he can't quite reach Parthios from there anyway. Roll it 4 times on Borox.
Okay.
Actually, can he use charge? I think he can. Yep. Okay. So he comes running through the just stomping on through this glass, and you hear it kind of crinkling and breaking as he's smashing hooves down into it, and you see the hooves begin to bleed. And as soon as he gets near, kind of around the pillar, he starts to rush, like putting his horns down, rush towards Parthios, and just crashes straight into him, which will strength save on Parthios. Let's see. I put a new mouse on here because that last one was pissing me off too much. This new one's nice so far. But Parthios succeeds. He rolled a 16. What does it do on a success? Oh, it still does damage. Okay, it just doesn't knock him back. Okay, and then where's the... I'll just roll it manually. There we go. Doing 8 damage to Parthios. Alright, it is Norik's turn.
Alright.
Parthios did not get knocked back, but it did hurt him as he got charged into by the big guy.
Alright, and flanking rules. Parthios is considered a friendly, right? Even though he's an NPC?
Yep.
+2?
Yeah, +2. It wouldn't be +3 because I think we're going to do for +3. By the way, you'll have to be directly behind them. I just don't want to, have every round where you're just trying to always get right behind them. Basically, the idea is that you have to have somebody directly across. Yep. So +2, +2 alongside your. Do you know how to do that, G? The bottom left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And then, since we're having extra fun, throw up the frenzied rage.
All right.
And. Yeah, just for the fun of it. Throw a reckless attack too.
All right.
And then I'm going to use the sword, again, trying to, not do serious damage, non-lethal type stuff, not trying to hack off limbs or stab him through the stomach or anything. So,
since you all know that, I'm going to assume that this is all non-lethal.
Yeah.
That hits, but hang on, before you roll damage, let's make sure that it's on the one-handed. Long sword, where is it on your inventory? There, it's one-handed. Okay, cool. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay.
You dropped a 5, so it wouldn't have hit, actually. And then you rolled minimum damage. I mean, modifiers are still good, but you rolled minimum damage.
Alright. And then, actually, no, I can't hit again because I used my bonus to rage.
Yeah.
So, then I'm good. And then my shield is just, the AC is already there. Do I need to put it up like with Ketis?
It's already on.
Leave it equipped for
it's already okay. Yeah, if you're going to take it off, then we'll change the equipment so that we'll just remove it from the equipped list.
I'm just going to leave it on because I've only got one-handed shit right now anyway.
Okay.
So for the whole fight, I'll leave it on.
All right. Then, as the crowd is kind of up off of their feet and kind of staring into the crowd and clapping and everything as this is all happening, you guys hear a boom sound that. Sarah's the only one that can actually see it. So there is a not an explosion so much as like a boom, a sound, not a fireball kind of explosion that happens from the pillar that the Miotao shaman is standing on, and you see the pillar shake as he's bouncing around on it. Sarah would have recognized, by the way, what he did was Misty Step. So he casted Misty Step to move from one pillar to the next when he disappeared and reappeared. But you would have been the only one able to see that, by the way. But something happened through that pillar, and it shook all the range around it. In fact, actually, the glass spikes shattered all across the ground. They're still there, but the glass spikes shattered all around it on the ground below that. But it happened specifically on that pillar. But Sarah's the only one that knows that. But nobody was near it, so it doesn't matter at this point. So, Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and use Thorn Whip.
On who?
Or
Can you reach him?
yes, it's 30 feet.
Okay. Yep, right 30, okay. Go ahead and make the cast. And it hits. Okay, does 5 damage to him. You're going to pull him into the spikes. Okay. 5, 10, he would be... he's kind of pushing... Yeah, to make it up there, he's going to be pushing Parthios out of the way, because he can't, like, just from the... it's a involuntary pull, so it's just going to be basically pushing Parthios out of the way as your Thorn Whip wraps around around the knee, basically, and starts pulling him into the spikes there. Go ahead and roll damage twice for the spikes. There you go. And he's kind of grumbling and looking angrily at you. And that is... Well, he doesn't have any reaction or anything at that point, so... any bonus actions or anything?
I still have a bit of movement, right?
I didn't... Let's see, you move... Yeah, you were right next to Sai, so 1, 2... You've moved 20 feet. You have 10 feet left.
Back up a bit more.
Okay. He is looking at you now and doesn't look happy about what you just did, so that's probably a good idea. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, it is Sarah's turn.
Alrighty. Alright, for a 10-foot radius sphere, I can't hit both pillars, can I?
No.
That are next to each other?
No.
Okay. No.
You'd be just outside. Like, it would basically hit the walls of each, but not, like, to the... You would barely touch the sides of 2 pillars.
Alright.
For a 10-foot radius.
I'm gonna hit the pillar he's on, and he's gonna end up taking damage because it's a 10-foot sphere.
Okay.
We're gonna use Shatter.
Okay. Alright, so you... What is the... I guess it's material, but you brought your thing anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you toss... well, at that range, maybe not, but you with some magical adjustments, chunk a small chip of a material, mineral rather, at it, and when it hits the side of this pillar that had already made that booming sound, again, you were the only one that could see this, but it had already begun to kind of chip away a little bit. And go ahead and target him and roll the damage, and I'm just going to use that same damage for the pillar. Is it really 3d8? Jeez, that's a good... Oh, because it's... well, shit, actually, because that doesn't have 2. It does extra damage if it's a mineral, right?
No, I think that it just has disadvantage. I think it's
Yep.
what it is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. If it's a creature made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage. Okay. Well, the pillar fails its save because it's a pillar. It can't exactly try to dodge or anything. Or a con save, I guess, in this particular case. He didn't roll above the average. All right, so what we'll do then is the pillar underneath him begins to just explode in a shard, just a shower of shards all around it, of just chunks of stone that are flying all around, and just kind of rattle into the floor below. And he is kind of wiggling off it. I'm going to make him make a dex save because he's standing on the top of this anyway, so it could potentially just knock him off. No, he succeeds. He rolled a 16. So he's kind of having to almost dance in place, basically, as this thing is rattling back and forth, but the pillar is barely being held intact. The middle of it looks like it's like a cannonball has been shot through the side of it, basically, like a big chunk of the pillar is now missing. It doesn't look like it's going to be very sturdy up there anymore. Any bonus actions or anything?
No, not right now.
Okay. Him seeing this, he can't see out of the field of darkness that's around him still, and it's following him. So he sees that portion of it, but he doesn't know exactly what's causing that. Because he can't see his target. Actually, hang on. Let me see how Misty Step works, because you might have to be able to see your target that you can see. Shit. That kind of screws up whether he can use Misty Step at all, because he would he would be able to normally teleport himself around, but he can't see his targets because of darkness. So he can't use Misty Step at all. He is going to point the direction that he thinks that you are. Did you move since you've put darkness up on him?
Yeah, I moved up like 3 or 4 squares.
Okay, so he'd have disadvantage and increased it'd be AC basically, because you are essentially behind cover. I'm gonna make the attack, but it's gonna be pretty low opportunity or low chance to hit. Hang on. Actually rolled really high, but what's your AC with your mage armor? 16?
16, I think. Yeah.
Alright, let's do disadvantage. Whoops. Oh, no. Well, he rolled really low on the second one, so with disadvantage, you see, all three of you actually see this part of it, that a small bolt of fire goes just kind of shooting out of this darkness sphere, and just goes sailing off towards the crowd, actually. And just as it's getting close to towards someone in the crowd, actually, one of the Mio Tao up there stands up in front and just kind of swats it away with his hand, and obviously hits his hand, and he kind of shakes it off like it obviously hurt. But, whoever he was protecting was probably a worse target to potentially hit. And there's jeers from a boos from the crowd, not from you guys, but or not for you guys, presumably. But that's as much as he can do, because he can't bonus action to Misty Step. Sai's turn.
She'll try and distract him this way.
Okay. Go ahead and drop the distract on him. Do you mean like distract as far as the help action, like her ability to do that, or are you talking about just trying to taunt him or something?
Well, she's kind of distracting him that way and taunting.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and drop the distract on him then. The Sai distract under your one of your abilities.
I thought I did.
It's not on him yet. If you grab it, there you go.
Oh, there we
yep.
go.
Yeah, you got it now.
Grab my bar and put it on him in the combat tracker, because trying to put it on him, I guess I was putting it on the spike growth instead.
Oh. Well, yeah, that wouldn't... Oh, you mean as far as the tokens on the map? Yeah, that probably would overlap. Yeah. Okay, Parthios' turn. He is... now that Borox is kind of pulling away, let's see if he notices something. Nope, never mind. He just shouts out, "We need to find the keys, guys!" And he tries to take a swing at Borox, who has just gotten yanked into the spikes here. There we go. Which hits. And it is Borox's turn. He is going to make his way out of the rest of the spikes here. Around the corner here. Go ahead and roll it once, Fox.
Okay.
And he's going to charge at Sarah, because she's the closest target. So up to here, which is, that was 5 to get there, so this is another 10. So he'll charge at you, Becky, and you need to make a strength save versus a 14 to avoid being knocked prone. Barely succeeds. That's real bad news.
Oh no.
That click sound that you heard there was a crit. He just rolled a natural 20, and it's 2d8. Which is a 15, doubled is 30. You have 1 HP left. That is bad news. Hang on. But you do successfully hold on your concentration. Do you see the natural 20 on your concentration check? Which would have dropped your darkness sphere. But he charges into you. You succeeded on the strength check, so he basically just crashes into you, but you just kind of move out of the way just enough that you aren't knocked prone, you aren't pushed over by it. But he still, kind of bowls into you. He is then going to grab an axe off of his belt and fling it at Arteme, who is within his throwing range here, which also hits for 8 damage to Arteme. And that is it for his turn. Norik's turn.
Alright. Assuming I can get past Parthios and not go in the glass.
He, with his turn, actually, after he swung at him, he probably would have backed up a little bit anyways. I meant to move him. His token's really awkward. It actually takes up 4 squares, so he would have, had space there anyways, as he was trying to watch Borox. Make a perception check on Norik.
Okay. I was going to say I was also going to see if I can look at it's visible on. So.
Okay, that's what I was going to have the perception roll anyways, to see if you would see where the key is. You rolled a natural 2. You do not see where the key is. Still a bit too distracted. What was that, G?
He said he can't hear anything.
Yeah, you're kind of robotic. What's your Discord look like?
Green.
Okay, that sounded a little bit better. It's a little bit echoey. It's not, but it sounds like it's cleared up a little bit. Is it any better on us? Like, do you hear us better?
A little bit.
Okay, well, go ahead, G. Your roll was too low. You didn't see the key.
Okay. Alright. Then I will just whack him a couple more times then.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'll get that. Still lagging here.
All good. I can roll it for you if you need me to. And it hits.
Okay.
You dropped a 6, so with that modifier, you might still hit anyways, but.
Gonna add this in too.
Okay. That's a good hit. 14 damage. You make one wide swing into an exposed, basically his calf, which isn't a bull pun because they're cow people, but and it actually cut a pretty nasty wound with that amount of damage. So I mean he's definitely still fine. He's not badly hurt or anything, but it does look like a pretty nasty wound. You gonna make another swing?
Okay.
For your frenzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hit a different spot though, so that way I don't hit this spot.
Okay. That one misses. Second swing missed. Yeah.
Yeah. He missed.
Ready for your turn, G? All right. You guys are all kind of facing away. You probably wouldn't. Maybe Arteme might notice that there's another booming sound, and arena kind of shakes again. You see bits of broken kind of chips of stone falling off of the pillars, just as that booming sound kind of shakes the arena. But you guys don't really see much of anything happening beyond that. It is Artemis' turn.
Okay. How close are Nora and Sarah to, or Norak and Sarah to?
To who? To Borox?
Yeah.
They're both 5 feet. They're basically in melee range. They're both 5 feet from Borox.
Okay, so that's not gonna work. Wait, what's shaking the arena though?
You don't know yet.
Okay. I don't think I want to find out either.
If you guys finish it fast enough, you might not.
Because I don't see the shaman. Would I still be able to hit him with something?
You can still try. So basically, if you're trying to hit something you can't see, then you have disadvantage on the roll. And then, depending on how, in something like this where he's moved, you specifically could presume, based on having seen one Sarah cast it on him and then two him move to another location, that it's centered on him. So you could essentially aim for what would be the center of this sphere. So you would still have disadvantage, but no further penalties beyond that.
Okay.
But remember, your guys' goal, I'll just to remind you from what Parthios was shouting to you, your goal is not to knock these people out. Your goal is to get the keys off of them and get those braziers lighted.
Yeah, okay.
Or lit.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Can I try and see where the key is on Bara?
Yeah, from where you just moved to, you'd have a chance. So go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. Perception?
Yeah. You're moved about 10 feet total, so I assume you didn't go north and then back south. You just moved to the square that you're on now. Yep. So you spot on his right hip, basically right where Noah couldn't quite see it from the angle he was on his right hip, basically below his right elbow, you see a big, like, comically large key, like not the kind of key you would actually even use, but just a comically large, like, brass key hanging from his belt.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my Thorn Whip on him, but I'm gonna be aiming to try and grab the...
Okay. The AC that you're going to have to beat then is not going to be Borox's AC. It's going to be, because basically he's a much larger target and he's a little easier to hit than a tiny key would be, especially on a moving target like that, because he's, of course, not standing still. So go ahead and untarget him and then make an attack roll with your Thorn Whip, and you need to beat a 17. We'll call it a 17. For a 21, so you snake out this dried up rose branch, thorny rose branch that wraps just the tip of it wraps just perfectly around the key on his belt and yanks it away. Go ahead and roll a d4, just a flat d4, the far right one. That was a d6. Try the one to the right of that. There you go. So the thorns on the end of it, where it kind of scrapes across his hip, basically, where you steal the key away, the thorns still scrape his side and doing 2 damage to him as you yank the key back to you. But it sails through the air and you catch it. You now have the key for at least one of those 2 grates.
Okay. I still have some movement, so...
you move 10 total to get there, so you have 4 more squares.
Here, and I guess try the key.
Okay.
Would that be an action?
Generally interacting with something, as long as it's not like a magical item or something like that, then you can do that once per turn, basically, as a free action. But you try the key on it, and that is not the right one. Doesn't fit.
I need to go around there now. Gotcha. Okay, I'll just wait here now.
Okay. That it for your turn?
Yep.
All right. It is Sarah's turn.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna disengage, and since there's so much bigger than I can run through their space. So 5,
Okay.
20, 25. Can I share a space with Sai?
Yeah, probably. You're both small enough. I would say that she could probably stand between like Norak's feet, and then you can basically share a spot with her. And then Artemis should have to be like on a shoulder or something.
gonna have to wait for my next turn to do that, so... Oh, actually, since I saw where she grabbed the key off of Borax, can I see a key on the shaman?
You are
area?
right now. You are being blocked by that pillar that's in front of you from where you stopped. But I would say if you were looking while you ran, assuming that you were thinking to look up towards him while you ran over here, go ahead and make a perception check. And make it with advantage because you did see where it was yanked off of Borax. You got a 19. Well, you dropped a 7, so the advantage was useful there. Sure enough, hanging off of his hip, it's a little bit dimmed because of the darkness, but it looks like it's a bright silver key hanging off of his right hip. Same spot.
Okay.
No actions beyond that? I guess your disengage was your action, no bonus actions?
Yeah.
All right.
I have
That darkness
plans,
one's loud
but it
too.
has to wait.
Okay. The shaman still can't do much. He's going to fling out another random firebolt. You guys have all moved. You know what? He heard the boos after he sent it out into the crowd. I think he probably wouldn't try it again because he realized he probably accidentally hit, somebody in the crowd. But he can't fucking cast Misty Step. So he is going to... You hear grunts, Arteme, you hear a grunt and then a loud thump, and you see the orb of darkness that was surrounding him jump towards the ground and is now just like a dome hanging or off of the floor. It's basically, he's jumped down off of the pillar. From that height, it'd be 10 now, because it's... the thing is, it's 10 feet is where you would start taking damage. I'd say that he probably doesn't take, especially because he's landing in sand. He doesn't take any damage from the jump down. It's only 12 up there, but he's jumped down to the ground. You now see that the darkness sphere is basically just a dome off of it, so you can still tell generally where he is. But he's kind of jumped down to the floor. But that's all he's going. You know what? Once he's landed, he's going to move a little bit further. He's going to be probably about here, just to see if he can get himself out of this sphere. He doesn't really know exactly how that's happening yet. Sai's turn.
She'll stay there.
Okay. Parthios is... he shouts over to Arteme, good job on grabbing that key. Try the grate, see if we can get these things open. And he is going to... seeing that Norok is engaged with Borax, he's going to try to run around Sarah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He can get to here. Towards the darkness. Not that he can do much about it anyways. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to throw anyways. Borax is going to spin around after being slashed at by the Yogg here, and is going to swing one battle axe. What did he... Oh, he has advantage because you have... because you frenzied. First one hits, swing with the other one, which misses, so... Alright, G. I heard you through Becky. Are you muted?
Is that better?
Still hearing you through Becky. I didn't see you light up.
Just had it up.
Oh. You're not lighting up. I can still hear you, though. Like, I can hear you fine just because Becky's just picking you up. Alright, you used your tribal... It's really a D12, jeez. He didn't do that much. He only did 8. So you're still maxed as far as your health is concerned. You're going to make your swing back?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You didn't have him targeted, but it wouldn't matter. That would have been a miss anyways. But once you swing back at him, attempting to kind of deflect one of his axes away and then swing back at him, he holds both of them to either side and just kind of roars in your face, and then stomps like right in front of you, basically right in front of your feet. He stomps one of his hooves hard into the ground. Make a strength save. You need to beat a 14. All right. Well, you guys keep saving on all my cool things, but the ground around you erupts with this kind of earthquakey kind of a feel under your feet, and you kind of just have to steady yourself. But it just kind of booms up around you in this big ring that surrounds where his foot smashed into the dirt. But it does not knock you back. It is your turn.
Alright. I am going to see if I can. What's the best way to do that?
I'm still only hearing you through Becky, so I heard most of that, but maybe try a little louder just in case.
Give me a second. I'm going to disconnect and come right back and see if that helps.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Yep, you're lighting up again.
Sweet. Okay, I'm going to try to knock him down and then get on top of him and hold him down if I can.
Okay. It would be a shove, basically, so that's going to be a strength contest. Make a strength check. You have advantage because of the rage, but I don't think there's really going to be much other modifier for it. It's going to be pretty hard because he's actually bigger than you are by a good amount. So the DC, or his roll is going to have a pretty hefty. He's actually quite a bit stronger than you two are. Actually, I didn't realize he was that high. But basically, he's going to have a pretty good odds of succeeding. But go ahead and make the shot.
Check.
Yeah, strength check, and he has to make a save, which is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and snipping tool this, just so you can see what I'm about to tell you. So you kind of throwing the long sword over your shoulder real quick, just try to reach both hands out and try to grab his shoulders and push, trying to force him backwards. And he spins to the side just a little bit, just to kind of get himself better leverage, and pushes into your armpit, basically the back of your arm, your shoulder, to throw you forward. You go basically switching places. He kind of spins around to the side, and you go kind of just the momentum carrying you forward. He got well, here, I'm going to drop it in Discord so you can see. That's what the rolls were. You see it in Discord?
Ouch.
You rolled great. You rolled a 19 plus 4, but his modifier is so high, he's literally got 1 point higher than you.
Okay.
What'd you?
I said okay.
But you still have your bonus action if you're going to try to make your reckless swing.
Can I try to tackle him again, or is that?
It's a full action to do that. So an action, the bonus action for the offhand swing would be essentially after an attack action, which was a shove is essentially an attack action. So you're okay. You do still have your magnet though, so keep that in mind. If that would be of use to you, you think, because that was the item you brought with you. That does hit though. Go ahead and roll your damage.
It hit.
It hit. Go. Yeah, just roll damage. I can hear you, G. You're fine. It's just your Discord that's doing it. It sounds like so. Okay. 10 damage. That's a good hit. He is starting to look a little bit. He's not quite bloodied yet. He's not quite to half damage, but he's getting there. There is another cacophonous boom. This time, the only person that is potentially in. Oh, this is. Make a dex save on Sarah. Well, you saw the northeast pillar blew up first, and then the southeast, and then now the southwest. Okay, you managed to hearing this, kind of almost expecting this might be coming. You managed to kind of dive out of the way just in time, as there's another booming sound of the pillar in front of you, the one that's close by you, kind of shattering down the middle of it and exploding this just shower of sharp chunks of rock out towards you. Let me turn this down a little bit, G. Ben, can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It was just for a second that you couldn't?
Okay, well that was good. It was lagging.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing you both from yours and Becky's, but that's the only lag I'm hearing on my side. Everything sounds normal to me, so. But as this kind of explosion comes out of the pillar there, you dive out of the way just in time so that you don't get showered with these chunks of falling rock and sharp bits of shrapnel essentially coming out of it. Because that would have been bad. You have 1 hit point left, and you you would have lost the darkness concentration as well. So, Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm gonna put the key on the disc and then float it to Sarah.
Can you do that? It follows you, but can you tell it where to go?
Yeah, it could go up to, I think so.
Let's see. Like, I know it follows you, but I don't know if you can command it, can you? The disc is immobile while you are within 20 feet. If you move more than 20 feet away, it just follows you. Yeah, it just follows you. It's not something you can tell it where to go.
Oh, okay.
You could have Sai do something like that, but she'd have to get to you to get the key first, and then, you know, take it over to Sarah. And her movement speed is 40, so she wouldn't be able to make it to you and back.
Okay.
You could drop now. I mean, you can drop your spike growth, so you guys could go straight through the middle,
Yeah,
and
I'll do
then meet
that.
Sai in the middle. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll drop that.
Okay. That is deleted.
Okay.
Or you can, if you dash and get to Sarah, you can give her the key.
I'll just dash right through and try and open this one.
You know, that's, yeah, I did say it's a free action, so let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, you still have 10 feet of movement, thereabout, after making it there. So you rush to that and open the grate. It'll take an action to try to lift it, since you're, you know, not strong enough to just lift it as a action. Parthios is next to you. You could ask him to do that, you know, before going after the shaman over there. But you have successfully unlocked it, though, so... And you can see underneath there that it looks like there's a bag of like not a bag, but like a tarp that is laid flat, and then there's a bunch of sticks on it and then rolled up. So basically like a bundle of sticks underneath the grate.
Okay.
Any bonus actions?
No, but I'll ask Parthos to help me open this.
Okay.
Can he do that even though it's not his turn?
On his turn he can. He can't do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But he kind of shouts over his looks over his shoulder, seeing you. He says, sure. It is Sarah's turn.
15. Right. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to use a bonus action to take my potion.
Okay.
Ah, dang it.
Well, I mean, it's better than nothing, but you did just heal the shaman, so...
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, it was 6, so that is 26. There you go.
Then I'm going to bring up Mage Hand, and it's 30 feet, so I'm going to bring it up right next to him and grab that key.
Okay. That's... I'd say you probably still need to make some kind of check just for like a sleight of hand essentially to get it, but it's basically your hand, so we'll have you making the check. Just make a sleight of hand check, make it with advantage, because it's not, he's not expecting it, and you know, it's basically in the darkness. He doesn't really see this even happening, so he's not really dodging that. He's just basically moving generally, so yeah, it's fine. Successfully grabbed it. So the hand appears next to him, this kind of glowing translucent hand. You're the only one that can see it, of course. Yours would actually probably appear somewhat shadowy anyway, so that might be very difficult to see in the darkness, but you are able to successfully grab the key off of his belt.
Alright, I'm using the action to control it. I can't move it, can I?
Yeah, you can. The hand, yeah.
Even though I had it grab the key?
You had it appear next to him and grab the key. It didn't use its movement or anything. You mean as far as like an action for the hand itself?
Yeah.
Let me see. I would say that would probably be like a free interaction, the same way that, you know, interacting with an object is free as long as it's not a magic item. Mage Hand. Hand vanishes more than 30 feet from you. Use your action to control the hand. Okay, manipulate an object, open a door, store, retrieve an item. Yeah, okay, so you used its action, basically, which was your action, to do that, which was to grab... okay, so technically you shouldn't have been able to cast it and also then use it in the same turn, I think, to grab that, but I don't really like how that's worded. I think I would still say that you could, you know, cast the action using casting Mage Hand and then use it to go ahead and grab that thing. I think that's how it should be worded, probably, because that's how it's usually used, even in like Critical Role and stuff like that. But it would still have its own movement the same way that you do, so you could still move it as well. The movement is not an action. If you read the way that it's worded there, it specifies movement separately.
Okay, well then, let's see, how far did I move? 5, 10, 15. So I'm gonna bring it, let's see, I'm going to move an extra 15 up here, and I'm just gonna keep moving it, keeping it 30 feet from me. getting it as close to the door as I can.
Okay, it's going to move its full 30 feet to try to get over there?
Yeah.
Just to try to meet you there?
Yeah.
Alright, here you go. If it's moving 30 from him, it can make it. It's right there. So there's your mage hand and your key right next to the grate.
Okay.
Except that key was 11 pounds, so you couldn't carry it.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding. Alright, you really screwed all these things up by just having him have darkness on him. He can't do anything. He is... You know what? I'm going to have him make a check to see if he would be potentially familiar with what has happened, to see if he could... Okay. Alright, so, looking over your shoulder, you see him starting to throw things on the ground. He throws down... Ben couldn't hear me again?
Yeah, it's really bad on his side. I can hear it.
Okay. Is it sounding robotic, or what?
Yeah, it's like when you talk, it gets stuck on something and it just keeps doing that, so.
It's probably wireless to the laptop, I'm guessing. So if you guys, I mean, you have extra patch cables, right? Didn't I leave you guys? I left you the long one for sure. If you can get another one, though, just like if he's sitting out there with the laptop anyways, he can hardwire the laptop to that router. Even if you just use a long one, it wouldn't matter. Like, you can take that long-ass one, that 100-footer, and just, unplug it from the desktop, run it into the living room, and just plug it into the laptop, and he'd be better off. Because if he's just sitting there with the laptop, it doesn't matter if it's hardwired or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, he could even... he would need to, do that next time, probably, because he'll need to log out of Fantasy Grounds and everything to do it. But, at least if you guys do it that way, he wouldn't be using the wireless anymore. He'd have a much more stable connection. Oh, wait a sec till he gets back in, though. But you do see the shaman throwing things down, like beginning to basically strip, essentially, throwing things down into the dirt. He can't tell when what particular part of it is. Basically, all of you guys would see this. You'd see the field shifting a little bit because it's dropping 6 feet down to the ground when he takes his shirt off and throws it onto the dirt, but he can't see that because he's still inside of it, so he doesn't know which item it is. He's just throwing everything down on the ground, and then he's going to prepare to run out of it. After he's probably throws just about, actually he doesn't need anything, actually, so he does throw everything on the ground, and then he's going to pick a random direction. Is he still loading Discord back up?
I don't know. What do you want to do? Are you gonna try to load Discord again, or what?
Noji.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was telling Becky, too, if you just take either, like, it doesn't matter, but any kind of a patch cable and hardwire the laptop, like, even if you're just sitting there in the chair, it doesn't matter. You can just run that, even that long one that I gave you guys, you can just unplug it from the desktop and plug it into the laptop instead. Like, you can't do it right now because you'll have to log out of Fantasy Grounds. You know what? We'll do that, actually. Let's just take a quick break, and you just hardwire the laptop, and then log out of Fantasy Grounds, log out of Discord, and then you don't need to restart the laptop or anything, but grab that patch cable, plug it into the laptop, and then just log back in.
Alright, if it messes up again, I'll just go into use the desktop, because we nailed it to the wall. So.
Oh, okay. But
if
that's
it's
fine.
messing up, I can go load up on the desktop. So it's
Okay.
almost done anyway.
Okay.
I'm guessing. So.
Well, you'll see. You're not done yet. You still got a lot of work to do.
If we need to, we'll just take the hardwire off of this computer, because it doesn't seem to mess up when we're doing this. It's just when you're running it in there.
Okay.
That's more network intensive, too, so... Yeah. Cool. All right, then, Ben, you were out of Discord for a second while this happened, but you didn't actually see any of this occur anyways, especially because you're fighting back and forth with Borox, but the shaman started, he jumped off of the pillar down to the ground, and then started taking all of his things off and just throwing them into the dirt, and then just ran in a random direction, and is now out of the field of darkness. That sphere of darkness is still, the dome of darkness is still there, and he's just south of it now. That is it for his turn. It is Sai's turn. Is she doing anything?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Then Parthios is going to turn around and lift that grate for you. His strength is high enough that it's not a check for him. He just grabs the corner of it and just lifts it up and sees the bag in there. He reaches in and grabs it and hands it to you. He says, I assume you wanted this, or did you want me to do it?
I could do it.
He just nods and turns back around to prepare to intercept the shaman. It is Barks' turn. He is going to... seeing that the grates are starting to get opened, he is going to... he's not going to disengage. He's going to just leave your radius, Nork, so you're going to get an opportunity attack on him.
Okay.
You can make it to there. It hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Damn, good damage.
Nice.
And he goes charging off towards this other grate here, towards Arteme. Seeing that Parthios has just opened the thing here, and she's got the bag of twigs. He can't reach her with that, so he's going to throw Arteme. He flings another axe at you, which hits. Which rolls minimum damage, so it was 3. For a total of 11 total damage that you've taken now so far. All right, Nork's turn. Rah.
Alright. I am going to move up behind him, and I'm going to see if I can take my shield and throw it out over in front of his face, and then hold up the magnet at the same time and see if I can get the shield to smash into his face.
Okay, I like this idea. I like where you're going with this. He is quite a bit taller than you. I would guess, you know what though, the shield, like, especially since it's a heater, if you grabbed it by the point, basically, you could kind of, hold the long, use it, as long, basically, your arm, and then the shield, like the full length of the shield, you could get it out in front of his face. It's a very creative solution, sure. So, as far as the check, or what kind of a roll this would be to see if it's successful or not, probably sleight of hand, maybe to get the angle right on where the shield would be, and then try to get the magnet basically behind his head. Becky blinded the shaman, and you're trying to now blind the other one. You hold the shield out directly in front of him, and then pull the magnet up behind his head. And as soon as you hold your hand over the little cloven part on the magnet, the shield smacks him in the side of the head, like basically against the horn, and then slips up over it, and the shield kind of reconnects with the magnet. And you're now holding the magnet with the shield attached to it in your hand. It did smack him in the face. Go ahead and roll a d4 as an improvised weapon. Yeah, so 3 damage to him. So a pretty good whack to the head, and he's obviously annoyed by it, but not blinded. Any bonus actions?
What's his health status looking like? Is he real beat up or what?
He is like one tiny hit, and he'll be bloodied. He'll be at half HPs.
Okay, I'll just hit him again with the bonus action then, of course, non-lethal.
Okay.
So, since he's not too far down.
Okay. Misses.
Okay.
You keep missing with your frenzied attack, like your extra attack, and your your creative ones. You've just been rolling. Basically, all of it's been rolling too low, which is indicative of the natural ones, sure. But actually, you guys haven't. I don't think you've had a single natural one so far, have you? This game?
I don't think so.
Just rolling low, but no natural ones at least. All right.
Only on damage.
Have you?
Only on damage. I think I rolled a 1 on damage.
He rolled a.
I had a 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. Yeah. You had a 5, a 2, and a 1. And as the round, well, you guys don't see the rounds, but basically the another boom occurs, which you want to take a look at where you're at on the map, Becky?
God.
That's funny. Like you saw the first 2 occur, and they were out of range of you, and you just happened to be in range of the third one, and now you just ran into the range of the fourth one as it goes off. Go ahead and make a dex save. At least you drink a potion, so hopefully it's not enough to knock you out, because I guess the darkness doesn't matter so much anymore. But the pillar explodes in front of you, and you are just kind of rushing towards where your mage hand is holding that key, just trying to run through it as fast as you can to make it there. And you get an eyeful of these shards of chunks of like limestone, like splintery stone, that shower down over you. It is not much. Oh shit! Literally 1 damage. It would have knocked you out. Just rolled minimum. It would have knocked you out from before you drink your potion, but it doesn't do very much damage, thankfully, as you're kind of rushing through and just trying to wipe the dust off of your face. That is it. It is Artemis' turn.
Okay, well, I'm going to put the bundle onto the disc.
Okay.
Taking some, and then I'm gonna go over here and put some in.
Okay. Okay, so you're taking some in your hand and just having the disc follow you. With the rest of it. Okay, it's not super heavy. You can carry it anyways, but that's fine. It's just you have, I guess, how much of it are you carrying it, and then the rest that you put on there.
Probably just enough for one. That way, there, if I get attacked, I could kind of.
Okay. All right. You throw that into the brazier there. It still needs to be lit, but you have to get sticks to all of them, and then you have to get the fire, the tinder, the flint rather, to each of them. So you've gotten one done. 5, 10. That was most of your movement. You might have another 5 feet, but as soon as you go another 5 feet, you'll be in the shaman's engagement range, meaning he'd be able to opportunity attack you if you tried to leave it. So, are you staying? Okay, are you backing up again then? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That if your turn.
Yes.
All right. It is Sarah's turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna have the mage hand unlock it.
Okay. It can interact, so it does so.
20, and then I am going to try and lift it.
All right. The DC isn't super high. You just have to, not roll really awful. So, go ahead.
Strength check?
Yeah, strength check.
Oh.
Yeah. So you did exactly what I said you need not to do, but you grab the grate of it and just with all of your shoulders, with all like as much as you can use your back to try to lift this. It's just not enough. You're pulling on it, and the grate doesn't even move.
Yeah.
It is unlocked, and you can see under there. There is a like a fire starter, like a little, looks like a paper clip. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't have any bonus actions that'll help, so.
All right. You do still have your. No, I'm not doing work tonight. You leave me alone. I have to work at 3 a.m. anyways for an AT&T update. I'm not going to work right now. That's for sure. All right. You do have your darkness up still, but not that matters right now. But that's still up there. It's just not, he's just not inside the bubble anymore. The shaman now out here is going to, seeing Artemis is throwing the sticks in there, is going to fling a firebolt at her for a 16, which hits, doing 3 damage, and then he's going to. He's gonna back up 5, 10, 15. He's gonna back up to right here and kind of be standing next to that other brazier. Sai's turn. Sai do anything, Fox?
Can she move to the disc?
Yeah. She has 40 feet of movement. She can move there. She could actually ride the disc.
She could probably grab some.
In her mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 3 feet off the ground, but she can probably hop up there and then grab some and then hop back down.
Yeah, and then she'll probably go to the other brazier.
Okay.
Sneak by.
All right. She will probably have to go through Borox's range, but whether you know what? If she's carrying sticks, he's probably going to try to swing at her because he sees what she's trying to do.
She'll just wait here then.
Okay. Parthios' turn. He turns to Artemis. He says, "Do you need help dealing with him?"
If you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then he's going to go because he was, instead of going after the Borox, he's going to try to avoid him because Borox has beaten him up before. He can make it to here to try to intercept and distract the shaman if you're going to be running sticks. All right. Borox's turn. Seeing all of that going back and forth, he's just going to spin it because he's already by this brazier anyways. He's going to spin around and take a swing at 2 swings at Norok. First one misses. Second one misses. So you're just dodging out of the way of these swirling axes as he's trying to swing at you. Your turn, G.
Okay. Alright, just for fun, can I try to get him with the shield again?
Yep.
In the magnet?
Yeah. It's probably... it'd actually
I'd
be...
have to move around, though.
Yeah, you're going to have to spin around him, yeah, because it'd be hard to get that angle right from this one. But, I mean, as long as you're still within his range, you can spin around behind him. Okay. Go ahead and make that sleight of hand roll again.
Alright.
It was worth a shot. You hold the shield out, and he actually kind of saw this coming, sees what you were trying to do the time previous, and he just kind of rakes his horns against it to fling it away, so the shield just kind of bounces off. You don't even get a chance to align the magnet in place this time, but you still have it on your arm. You're going to make a bonus action attack?
No, this time I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to try to keep him, distracted as much as possible.
Okay.
So.
All right. With that, the whole floor of the arena here continues to just shake and boom. You're feeling something under the ground, basically the same thing that was booming up through the pillars and causing them to rattle and fall. Let me see if I have a token for that. This'll work. It's not quite perfect, but the center of the arena here begins to collapse and cave in. There's basically a hole appearing in the center of it as the whole arena is beginning to shake, and you see the dust and dirt basically kind of collapsing into this space in the center of the chamber. Thankfully, nobody was nearby that at the time, so it is Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go. How much movement do I have?
You have 30 feet. 6 squares.
And then I'll just dash across.
Hang on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Yeah, that's 60.
Okay, and then I'll just wait here.
Okay. No bonus actions then?
Unless I can move as a bonus action.
No, it's your action to dash, and then your regular movement, so... rogues can. Druids can't, though. Alright, Sarah's turn.
Right, let's try this again.
Well, okay, that was enough anyways. So the second time, you kind of saw where the hinges were this time, and realized that the last time when you tried to pull it, you were pulling next to a hinge that you didn't quite notice was there, which was why it wasn't budging at all. But you grabbed it at a better angle this time and lifted up. It's not a whole lot because you're not very tall, of course, but you've lifted it up and can reach in and grab the fire starter in there. So you now have that.
Right.
That was your action. Any bonus actions?
No, because I can't make the hand do anything on a bonus action. So.
Yeah, it's your action to do that. No movement then?
Well, let's see.
I would say that you probably, just being relatively perceptive anyways, you see that Artemis has just run up beside you and she's carrying sticks. She has sticks in her hand.
Right, so I'm going to tell her to put some sticks in the mage hand. Or have the mage hand, I guess. Well, no, because it can't do anything.
You did see...
the mage hand.
Yeah.
The disc is also carrying the bag with the rest of the sticks.
Yeah, but she can't tell the mage hand to grab the sticks is the thing. So you like on your you would have to do it basically until her next turn because she already used her action. So.
Okay.
But either way, both your guys' inanimate helpers essentially are nearby enough that you guys could try to use them to help distribute. Alright, the shaman is seeing that nobody with sticks is nearby, and he doesn't want to get into melee with Parthios, is going to back away. He can get to here, which is going to... he's going to toss a firebolt at... Actually, you know what? Actually, when he gets up here, he's going to throw a firebolt at Artemis, who is carrying the sticks. Which also hits. Artemis takes another 5 damage from another firebolt. You still have, what, 12 hit points left. And he's now standing by one of the other braziers trying to protect it. Alright, Sai's turn. She has sticks in her mouth.
How far can she move?
She's got 40 feet. I'm going to drop this on here so that we can tell basically that that one right there has... let's see, I'll drop that one. That'll work.
Her sticks in this one.
Okay, she's dropping sticks in there?
Yep.
Whoops. Alright, then in that case, these two have sticks. Nothing's lit yet, but those two have sticks in them. Okay, that it for her turn?
Yep.
Alright, Parthios is still seeing this darkness field, doesn't really want to run into it, he's not exactly sure what that is going to keep chasing it. Actually, he can reach the shaman this time, so he's going to take a swing at the shaman. Ooh, and hits. Good roll. Didn't roll good on damage, but swings a hefty slash into the shaman there. Borok's turn. He is he is probably gonna try to run at the two in the north who just got the fire and they have the sticks and everything up there. So G, you're gonna get another opportunity attack. Or he can make it to here. You there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm going home.
Yep.
Okay.
Longsword, yeah. Thanks, babe.
That
It hits. Yep, that was the right one. Go and roll the damage. It's your turn anyway, G. He already used his axes, and he is outside of range to do much else. That's going to be it for his turn. Yeah, he's not going to do a smash from there. So it's your turn, G.
All right.
Yeah. I checked, by the way. Chaos Bolt's like the only spell that I found so far that doesn't have a sound already in there, Becky. I'll have to make one for it.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think it's probably sorcerer only. That's probably why. Maybe, you know, some of the class-specific ones they just didn't do or something. The guy that made all the sounds.
Alright. What I'm gonna do is does he still have his axe out in front of him? I'm guessing he still does, like, actually have it in his hand, like he does in the...
He's got two.
token.
Yeah, he's got two, one in each hand.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the magnet out in front of me for a little bit more speed, and I'm going to run as fast as I can, and I'm going to fucking drop kick him right in the back of the head.
Okay.
I'm using the magnet to help me gain some speed holding it out in front of me before
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're trying to build extra momentum.
Yeah.
All right. I'd say that because of the creativity and the idea of it, that you'll get a +2 on your chance. So go ahead and click the +2, and then make an athletics check for the jump kick. For a total of 19. Okay. We're treating this as if it's essentially a modified shove attack. So for his, all right. So this time you got a 19, and his check was a 17. So where he beat you by 1 last time, you beat him by 2 this time. But you jump it as high as you can. He's still a good 1.5 to 2 feet taller than you. So you don't you can't reach his head, but you do kick him square in the back, which shoves him forward. His hooves slip out from underneath him, and he falls forward onto his axis. Actually, I mean they're laying flat. He doesn't he's not cutting himself, but falls like face plants into the dirt. Let me go ahead and put prone on him. There you go. And he is knocked down. Any bonus actions?
I don't think so. But with the last 5 feet, can I jump on top of him? Or
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait.
No, you can.
Then yeah, I'll just try to keep him down essentially.
Okay. That'll be kind of you're going to be making checks basically every round against his for you try to kind of grapple basically. All right. Okay. The pit in the center here the ground continues to shake and grow, and actually you look over and see that it's grown so much that it's almost almost to the point where you would potentially fall in if it continues to grow like that. But let me see if I... Hang on, I don't know if I have a token for this. This... that's not quite the right one. I would have had this prepared. I just ran out of time. I kept having to work this morning.
No problem.
I'm just going to use this token for lack of a better one. But you guys, in the middle of this hole, you see a large, almost snake-like mouth coming up out from the hole that's erupting in the floor there. Or kind of falling in rather from the floor, and a large worm, essentially like a big mouth of a worm. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the... Well, shit, I can't get both tokens. Here, I'll just have to grow that one. There we go. Now the other one's on top. There we go. But a big worm-like mouth comes out from underneath it, and there's obviously a glowing warmth coming from the inside of the mouth of this worm, and it's still pointed straight up. It's not aimed in any particular direction yet, but it looks like it's probably capable of breathing a very hefty gout of fire, is how I tell you that. Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some sticks and go put them in here.
Okay.
Then I'm going to dash and fill this one too.
All right. Yeah, you definitely have room to be able to do that. Okay, those all have sticks now. Thankfully, the shaman is involved with Parthios, and you were not within melee range of him anyways, but he's not able to really stop you. All right, so those four all have sticks. That if your turn. All right, it is Sarah's turn.
Right. Does Mage Hand have sticks in it?
Well, okay. You know what? Actually, yeah, the disc wouldn't have moved yet, but Arteme, you could have. She had asked you to, and you could have placed a couple of sticks in the Mage Hand's hand.
Oh yeah, before moving, sure. Okay.
All right. So we'll just retcon and say that she did that. So the Mage Hand does have some sticks, and then you can grab some from the disc as well.
All right. So yeah. So we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And let's see. 25. So I'm gonna go to this one. And it is going to go to this one.
Is that 30?
Well, doesn't it... oh, no. It doesn't follow me.
Yeah, it doesn't. You have to move it. It has to... If it leaves... If you get out of 30 feet, then it dies. Or disappears.
30. Alright, well then it's going there, and I'm going...
Okay, I think you could make it to the other one, right?
It will be 30.
Oh, really?
If I dash, I can.
You can dash. Interacting is going to be a free action, so...
Yeah, so
all right.
I'll do that.
All right, then...
The one at the lighter, though, too?
She is, yeah.
Okay.
So you have sticks and the lighter, Becky, so that one is lit. You've now... Assuming that's what you were going to do. Was that your intent? Okay, so you have lit that one, so that one is now on fire. The hand did drop sticks into the other.
Okay.
That if your turn?
Yeah.
All right. The shaman is going to... It dropped its club, so it doesn't really have anything else to be able to...
Oh wait, does it take an action to drop darkness?
No, to drop concentration? No, you can just do that.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
Big black hole in the center there.
Alright, go to your effects. Do you know how to do that? I'll drop the token. Do you know how to remove the effect?
No.
Okay, so in the combat tracker, do you have the little axe head symbol? Looks like the head of an axe. Yeah, on the right side in the combat tracker.
By the skulls.
I think, yeah. Effects.
Okay. When you click that, it'll give you a drop down of effects. Do you have a red, like, can you change it? Like, do you have a little red thing to be able to delete stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. And you still have Mage Hand and your Mage Armor up, so all good. All right. The Shaman is... He doesn't have... Oh, you know what? What he's going to do... Oh, shit. Actually, since you dropped... just to piss you off, since you dropped the darkness, he now sees his gear on the ground, is going to run past Parthios to go grab his club off of the ground. Which is going to, of course, Parthios is going to get an attack on him, so. Which misses, so. He is going to run over there and pick up his club, and then he's going to spin around and... he sees the big thing there. He doesn't seem to be concerned by the big worm. He can't see Norok, so he's going to shoot at Artemis again. Artemis is the target of many firebolts today, which hits again for another 5 damage.
To heal up, so okay.
You've got what, 7 hit points left right now. Sai's turn.
She's just gonna stay there. There's not much she could do right now.
Okay. Then it is to Parthios. Parthios is going to he's going to try to get in the way to keep the shaman from being able to shoot firebolts at you guys anymore, and take a swing at the shaman again, which this time does hit. Damn, he hit really hard. Borok's turn. He is trying to wriggle out from under your grasp as you guys are grappling. Go ahead and make a strength check. He got a 23. He got a 17 plus 6. And you got a 22. So he actually grabs you, just puts a hand square into your neck, basically just pushes you off, shoving you off to, he was facing that way, so, you know what, he was face down. He reaches back and throws you off to the left, so you're pushed off over here. Okay. And then he has to spend half of his movement to stand back up. So he's not going to move, is just going to take a swing at you. You know what, actually that was his action to do that, so never mind, he doesn't get to do that. He is going to use his legendary Thunderous Smash, though. So make a strength save, you need to beat a 14.
Okay. And I'm going to tell him to lug out behind him. I don't know if you noticed that the fucking ground is opening up.
He barely even looked at it. It seems like he knew this was coming. Okay. You did beat a 14 though, so he smashes the ground in front of you again, and it kind of earthquakes out around you, around his hoof, but does not knock you back. It is your turn.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to. All right, they got that one lit. Okay. Can I just ready my action to try to, tackle him or something if he tries to move past and go after the lady, so kind of just stand in his way?
Yeah. So if you're going to ready your action, basically you have to tell me exactly what the trigger is, and that's basically what you just said, that if he goes after them, you're going to try to tackle him.
Essentially, if he tries to move past me, I guess you can say from where I'm standing.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Then basically, so it uses your reaction to do that. So basically, you in setting the trigger essentially is your action. That's what readying is. But your reaction would be actually using that portion of it. So if it happens, then you get to use your reaction and you can try to tackle him. If it doesn't happen, then you basically have wasted your action. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's how readying an action works. So.
That works.
All right. Let's wait till Fox gets back here. I'm gonna put a ready window up so that she can see it when she gets back. How you feeling today, G?
A little bit better, actually. Not as bad as the last 3 or 4 days.
Good.
Still need my cane mostly, but I'm actually not using it nearly as much today. So that's nice.
I'm back.
Okay. All right. So the Borox threw Norok off, and Norok kind of ran up to try to intercept him. If he's ready his action, basically. So if Borox comes in here, tries to go past Norok, then Norok's going to try to tackle him. Now that it is back to the worm's turn, you see it tilt its head down, southward, aiming down. It doesn't have eyes, and it doesn't seem like it's aiming at anything in particular. It is facing southward, and you see a huge gout of flame spit south, and it starts to rotate to the west. So I'm going to draw a cone here to show you what's happening, basically. But this whole space right now is on fire, and it's starting to rotate. And basically, he's spit to there. Shit! I can't grab it. I moved it too far. I'm gonna drop the hole. Actually grew a little bit. It only grows to basically to the size of where those pillars are, and then the pillars collapse in. So Borox is basically the edge of it. So just assume that because I can't move that token along with this the worm thing. Just assume that the center of this basically is now gone. You can't anywhere inside those pillars is not there anymore. It's all knocked down.
Okay.
But Fox, you would recognize this a little bit like Sabbatha, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, the big kind of gout of flame that it has spit out and is kind of rotating around, or beginning to rotate around. I've got to move it a little bit because I can't.
Yay, flame wall.
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically it's coming out from, it's spitting this and it is moving around. It did move over this brazier, but there were no sticks in it. Nothing caught fire there, and it moved towards here. Yeah, it's basically it's going to cover a quarter of the field each time as it moves. I might as well just move the mouth, even though it's not the right token. It is Artemis' turn. It is moving that direction, and if you guys are caught in that, I'll warn you. Of course, that's going to hurt quite a bit.
Okay, it's going towards Norrock and Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Borox right now.
I'm gonna dash.
Dash where, Fox?
To here.
Okay.
And then the disc is gonna follow me, so I'm just gonna wait here.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
You went past the shaman, I would say, because especially since you were dashing, you actually still had a little bit more movement anyway. So you probably, I would assume that you ran basically just outside of his melee range so that he wouldn't get an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any actions, bonus actions?
Bonus, yes. I'm gonna use Healing Spirit.
Okay. Let me give you your token. There you go. Go ahead and drop it wherever you want it.
And then it's gonna be on the same block as me, so I'm gonna heal myself with it.
Okay. It's on your turn actually, so go ahead and roll the heal. Sai is nearby enough as well, so she could jump into it when it's her turn as well. You still have your potion too, I think, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, but that would be an action. I already dashed.
Yeah, you dashed. So it was your bonus action to bring up the healing spirit. That it for your turn?
Yeah, that ends it.
Okay. All right. Sarah's turn.
Alrighty.
You see a huge gout of flame that is kind of slowly rotating around this room and headed your direction.
Alright, so I'm gonna go up here and light this.
Okay. It's a free action to do so, let me get rid of the sticks and I'll put the fire on there. You do see, by the way, that the field, the wall is going over these braziers and presumably would ignite something if it was on there. If it was, if there was sticks there to light, it probably would have, but it would also light up halflings pretty quickly too.
How far would I have to be? 5, 25, 30. But it would have to go that way, so. Alright, I'm going to dash. Let's be 20, 25, 30. So it would be there.
Okay.
And can I move the hand with me? Or is that the action?
It's your action to move it, yeah. And if you're outside
Right,
of 30
so
feet
then-
of it, then it'll despawn.
Alright, so the hand disappeared then.
You're not out of 30 of it right now, are you? Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, you are, 35.
Yeah.
All right. But it already, used its sticks anyways, so you could always just recast it as a cantrip. Just takes your action, of course, but... Okay. What is... Oh, because you moved it to Shaman, okay. I still had the darkness effect on him, whoops. There we go. As if he was still inside the bubble. That'll be one of the nice things with the new Fantasy Grounds version, too. Some of the lighting stuff will automatically happen. All right, he is going to try to disengage from... Actually, he's not going to disengage. He's just going to try to rush towards Arteme to make a swing at her with his club, which is going to, of course, incur a opportunity from Parthios, which hits. Parthios hits a lot harder than I originally intended, but he hits really hard. 21, good damage. He's hitting like Norok levels, pretty much. But these guys, you guys just have a lot of health, so... he is going to club Arteme. Natural 20. And he has advantage on his next attack as well, which he doesn't have this turn, but it's not that much damage since it's just a simple weapon, but a total of 7 damage to Arteme. And you are now in melee range with him too, of course. It is Sai's turn. If Sai moves through the spirit, then she'll get the heal as well.
She'll move through the spirit and grab some sticks, skirting him.
Okay.
Whoops.
She only had
She'll just go.
She only had 2 hit points lost anyway, so the minimum heal is 2, so she's healed up.
Okay, she'll grab some sticks and then move here.
Okay. Normally that would provoke an opportunity attack, but he doesn't see... you know what, actually she grabs sticks, so he does see her as a threat, so he will try to take a swing at her.
I use some of her movement to like move around him to grab the stick.
Okay.
So
yeah,
she's
so I guess
behind
if
him,
you...
he wouldn't really be able to see her.
Yeah, no, that's... I mean, as long as she was grabbing the sticks from the other side, basically, then that would be outside, which is good because actually it did hit. I mean, his damage is low, but still would have hit. So, all right. So 5, 10. She would have gotten to there. She still has 5 feet left. If you wanted to move another 5,
Okay.
She has a 40-foot movement. So.
Well, no, she used the extra movement to go behind him without him seeing.
Yeah, if she went up on the left side, she could grab it and then make it over to where she's at, and that would be 40 right there where she is now.
Okay.
Okay. Parthios' turn. He is... He's going to spin over and yell to Sarah, do you need help? Or do you want me to keep going after the other guy?
I'm good.
Right. Then he's going to try to keep swinging at the shaman here. Whoops. Except I dropped it on the disc. Which misses. All right. Borox's turn. He is, so I would say this would still count as the trigger G, but he is going to run past you. He's actually not trying to engage with you. He's basically running. He can't go on the inside of the pillars because they're gone there. I just had to take the token away. So he's going to run past you to try to get to 5, 10. He can make it to about here. About right there.
Well,
so you'll have...
Because I saw the fire coming, so I'm not going to tackle him because I don't obviously want him to get fucking burned to death.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, he's moved. He runs past you then. So if you're not going to take that, if you're not going to use your reaction to do that, you can still take your reaction to make an opportunity attack, just a regular attack if you want to.
I'll do that instead then.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just so I don't, knock him down so he doesn't get fucking burned to death.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you do see though that wall is coming your way as well, and like you're going to have to be out of that range, and you can't be in the same square he is, and he's kind of taking up most of the space. You're basically going to have to be on top of that grate to be not in where the wall is going to hit.
Okay. Was there advantage for a reason?
Because I still have the prone effect on him. Sorry. But actually, the 13 plus 6 still would have hit, so it doesn't matter. It still would have hit. Let me take prone off. There we go.
Kick that ass.
That's a good hit. Right. You gonna run? Oh, sorry. Well, that was it for his turn. He was just basically getting out. You know what? He doesn't have his axes anymore. He is going to take his action. He's just going to use it to dash, and he's basically just charging straight at Sarah. And is like prepared to try to grab Sarah, like he's going to pick her up and try to grapple her. He can't do it this turn because he's used his action to dash the rest of the distance, the little extra distance, because he doesn't have axes anymore. He can't throw, or his hand axes anyways. All right, so Norok's turn.
Okay.
I just realized that it's Norok and Borox.
All right, then I'm going to. He's 40, so I can get here. Huh. Yeah. So I will... I'm actually just gonna Well, actually, would that be? I guess it would have been about the same.
What?
Would it still be? No, that's fit. Okay, so that's as far as I can get because I was 40 away from him. So
Okay.
there, I'm just gonna. Actually, I'm going to use my action to dash more and actually get like here.
Okay. So now you're going to grapple Sarah instead?
Yeah, exactly. Midget
Right.
toss. So
All right. Then in that case, that being the end of the round there, the beginning of the next round, that wall comes spinning around, filling up the whole area with heat. You were actually, like if you hadn't had done that dash, you were in the range. You would have gotten hit by the edge of the fire there. As this worm is spinning around here. The braziers that were already ignited, of course, are now within this wall, or had been at least as it passed over. So those are already covered, of course. It is Artemis' turn.
Oh, the spirit's gonna heal.
Okay. Yeah, you are in it anyways, so go ahead and roll your heal on it. But you are within melee range of that shaman as well, so if you try to leave his range, he's going to get an opportunity attack, unless you disengage.
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Sure. You can probably, I'm not sure of this, but you can probably drag the healing effect from that onto your bar too, and just be able to click that, whenever the healing spirit's healing something, so you don't have to bring the spell up every time.
I'm trying, that didn't work.
That doesn't? Okay. I thought it would, but I wasn't 100% sure.
No, it doesn't, okay.
Well, that's a shame. I think it does for... you could do... Is it just a d6? Is that all?
I think so, yeah.
If you drag a d6 onto there, what happens? There's still two that don't have sticks. I don't want to waste these. I'll put it here.
Sorry,
So you
D6
can...
for each.
Yeah, okay, so then you could just drag a d6 onto one. It'll look like a little square block, and if you just click it once, it'll roll a d6. And then, we would have to, basically you would just roll it, and I would just add it as a heal. There's probably a better way to do it. I'll look for it for you.
Okay, it's just because my level 2 spell slots were all done, so I just had to unclick it to be able to find.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. You could always drag the spell on there too, but but that would just show you what it looks like.
Yeah, it
What?
just tells me what the spell is. It doesn't let me. I already have it.
All right.
I can disengage as an action, right?
Yep. You can disengage and then get away. That'll basically prevent him from being able to opportunity attack you.
Okay, I'm gonna disengage and move towards these here.
Okay.
Then, as my bonus, I'm gonna move this back. Actually, I'm gonna move it towards Sarah so they can walk.
Okay. How far can you move it? 30?
I think.
stupid game.
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay. Then you can actually go that far right there.
This follows me.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Yep.
All right. Sarah's turn.
Right, well, I'm gonna disengage and run through him. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna get there, and I ran through the
Okay.
healing spirit thing along the way.
Nice.
Then Fox, if you would roll that heal on. There's a natural ones.
And no, that's all I can do because I disengaged. So.
All right. No bonus actions.
No, because I don't want to kill anybody. So.
They're not even close. I mean, there's a threshold. I'll tell it to you guys this way. The same way that the reason I'm telling you this is because last week when you guys were fighting the orcs in the second room, I think it was, you guys went into, that they kind of stopped fighting after a while. There's a threshold at which they're like, okay, good enough, So you guys could get them to that, and that's not necessarily death, and they're not there yet. Is how I would say that.
All right, then I'm gonna bring up Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
My bonus.
So the rules, I'll tell you this way too. The rules, as you understand them at least, is that you can't ignite the braziers with magical fire. That would be cheating essentially. Yeah, no, I mean you can still use it as an attack and everything. Just if you happen to get it over the brazier, it's not gonna. Well, it wouldn't count. Is how I would say that.
I'm bringing up Aston.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. All right. Go ahead and put your effect. Oh, you already did. Okay. All right. The shaman's turn then. He's going to spin around. It never. He'll probably resist it. He's going to try. So you see him. What's the? Let me find that real quick. You see him where he picked up his things. He picked up a small, like a thin bar of metal, and he holds it out in front of him, in front of Parthios, and he kind of snaps it, and kind of like those, those stupid snap bracelet things that are a stick, but as soon as you smack it, like basically they're just folded and then they'll wrap around something like your wrist. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like they were from like the 80s, I think. So Fox probably has no idea what I'm talking about. But the so one of the
Canada.
there's probably a maple leaf that they just snap it on and it's supposed to wrap it around.
No. I know what you're talking about.
But basically something kind of like that. It's just a thin piece of metal, and he kind of flings it at Parthios and tries to snap it around his arm. He's casting Hold Person on him, which Parthios will probably resist, but let's give it a shot. He does not. Shit. He only rolled a 6. So you guys see this piece of metal wrap around Parthios' arm, and then as soon as it does, it lights up this kind of bright yellowish arcane energy that snaps around him and kind of looks like it's zapping through him, almost like electricity, and he is frozen in place. The shaman is then going to run this way. 10, 15, 20, 25. Actually, he's going to run towards Arteme, but not... He already used his action, so he can't attack, so he's just still in range with Arteme. Sai's turn.
She's gonna disengage and then move
Okay.
here. And then drop her sticks in here.
Okay. There you go. Is that it for her turn?
Yep.
Alright, so Parthios is boned. He can't do anything. And he does not succeed on his save. It is Bork's turn. He's going to shove Norok back, seeing that Norok is not, badly wounded or anything yet. In fact, no damage because you used your tribal thing. He's going to try to shove you back into the fire there. It's going to be a strength contest, so go ahead and make a strength check, G, and you need to beat a... Oh, he didn't roll good. 17. You have to be 17.
Okay.
$19. Alright.
Yeah! I finally won.
So he you see him grab both axes. He just flings one down into the dirt on his right side, and then he flings the other down into the dirt on his left side, and he just holds both hands out and just tries to kind of shove into your chest, but you kind of turn off to the side, so they just kind of pass you a little bit, and then he is going to back away. No, because he knows it's moving. He's going to go ahead and turn, so you'll have an opportunity to attack if you want it.
Okay.
He can't get into that part actually. So as far as he can get is basically he's occupying the same spot as that healing spirit to be within range of Sarah. Not with that. All right, your turn, G.
All right.
You can feel the heat of that wall right behind you, and you know it's heading your way very quickly.
Okay. And I'm going to...
In fact, actually, yeah, it's like you need to move very far. That's not far enough. You know you're still going to be in range of it, based on how quickly it's moving.
Okay, then I'm going to... That will be my regular movement, but I'm not really doing much anyway, so I'm going to... come down to about there. That was within my movement, wasn't it?
From there, I think that was another 30-ish. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's one too far, so be basically there. Assuming you're dashing?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Then... Friggin' dog hair on my desk. It annoys the shit out of me. Love the dogs. It's just the hair's friggin' irritating. This time, though, as the arc is spinning around, it does go through... hang on. I have the angle a little bit wrong. It should be basically one north of Sarah, so Sarah wouldn't be in it, but Borox is.
Uh-oh.
There. It'd be like this. Put this dumb guy back in the middle here.
Jack
Because he is also, well, you don't know that, but effects-wise, it's definitely caught, like his fur, which has obviously been singed many times, does catch alight, but he's not even really paying too much attention to it. It obviously burns him. He's definitely hurt, taking damage from it, but it's not, it's not killing him or anything.
Does that light up the braziers?
It does. So as it was passing through, those two are lit up, and that's why I wanted to specify for you guys, basically, that anything that you like a spell wouldn't count, but mundane stuff does, including this effect of this thing breathing on it does light these as well. And the crowd is just erupting and screaming because it seems like you guys are basically halfway through this. That if you guys can survive long enough, that you would potentially win. But that does count. Basically, the sticks catch fire. Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm going to disengage and then move towards the neck.
Okay. It's actually like here, is as far as you could get.
Okay.
For 30 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
I knew I might have gone a bit too far.
Oh, good. Any bonus actions? You still have your potion if you wanted to drink that.
Yeah. I was actually going to move the spirit closer to Sarah and try and heal her again, but
okay.
I can't pick it up.
I'll grab it for you. Here you go. Oh, I just dropped it right on Sarah though, so hang on. There.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, that's on Sarah's turn when it heals. It's not just when it passes through.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me delete that 4. Back to 26. Which it was kind of pointless anyways. Because is that for your turn then?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's Sarah's turn now. So do you want to give her that 4, or do you want to re-roll it?
I'll leave it up to her.
Do you want to risk a natural 1?
25. No, we'll keep the 4.
All right.
Alright, so yeah, I disengaged and I ran by 30 feet.
Okay. Then you guys are... Go ahead. All right.
That's it.
All right. The shaman... So you guys... You saw that Parthios is frozen in place, and you know that wall of fire is about to go over him.
I don't know how to release him from it.
That's totally fair. Yeah, there wasn't necessarily anything you could do about it, I guess. I'm just telling it to you that way. That's what you guys saw happen. The shaman, though, seeing the wave is coming this way, is going to GTFO. He is going to run here and try to grab Sarah by the back of the neck with his hand. He's going to make a grapple check on you, which you have advantage on, right?
Yes.
All right, he got a...
I got nimbleness.
Yeah, nimbleness, or halfling nimbleness. He got a 19. You got a 16 plus 3.
What am I doing?
Strength... sorry. Well, you can make it as an... It's supposed to be a strength contest, but I would say that you can use dex to try to basically dodge out of the way if you want to. So strength save or dex save, whichever one you prefer, with advantage.
Save. Okay.
Yeah. I got an 18, 1 point less than what you needed. You rolled a 15 and a 14. You actually rolled really well, and still, with you trying to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, he grabs the back of your neck and lifts you up, and your feet are just kicking in air. He's basically holding you up. You are considered grappled and restrained, technically. That is it for his turn. Sai's turn.
I'm sorry, she's gonna grab sticks and then shove them in here.
Okay. Then that is the last of the sticks that are needed.
Does she have a bit more movement speed?
Where was she? Which square was she on?
She was right beside the disc.
She has a lot more. That was only that was 20 feet or so for her to get there, so she still has another 20 feet.
Okay, she's gonna go over here.
Okay. Then it is Parthios' turn. See if he can get out of this here. Nope. This is looking real bad. He doesn't have enough health to survive this, most likely. And he's not raging like Borox. Borox is a bear totem, so. It is his turn. He is going to rush out of there. Yeah. You know what? In a ploy to try to get some crowd approval, I think Borox is going to rush over towards Parthios and try to. Because he's not strong enough to just automatically carry another Miotao, so he's going to try to pick him up. Nope. All right, he tries to grab Parthios and lift him up, but he's not strong enough to carry him and still move. So he ends up having to set him back down, and he's going to rush past Norok. He can't really fit through there, so he's going to have to go all the way around. He's going to stop here, knowing that he's going to take some damage, and is going to punch Norok in the gut. He's going to like a cheap shot punch you.
Breadbasket.
Yeah, he threw his axes down, and it hits. I don't have an unarmed attack on him though, so let me grab the die real quick. Damn it. I dropped it on you. I'll just roll him. There we go. Doing 9 damage. Jeez. That strength modifier is really high. Which you would take half of anyways. So half rounded down is 4. There you go. Alright, it is your turn, G.
Alright. I am going to... I don't know if it'd be any easier, but I'm going to run over and see if I can just... Is Parthios still on his feet, or did he get knocked prone when he was held?
No, he's standing. He's frozen in place. Borox tried to pick him up, and then when he set him back down, he's like a statue.
Alright, I'm going to... see if I can just drag him, like grab his arms, because I'm guessing they're like held out, kind of like in front of him, like he's in shackles and handcuffs. And I'm going to see if I can drag him instead of picking him up.
Okay. And the ground is sand, so I mean it's not really going to be too resistant as far as that. Go ahead and make a strength check. I would say, well, you're going to have advantage actually because of the rage anyway, so go ahead. You grab his arms and start pulling him, and you can move half of your movement speed.
Okay.
Since you're basically carrying him, so.
I did 5 already, right?
I think so.
No.
You were right about there, so. I would say actually it would be your interaction, but you were about there. I'd say that you were within range to grab him anyways, because his token. So okay. You guys can't see this, but his space actually covers 9 squares total. Like that covers all the squares all the way around him, because his token's kind of oddly sized. I would say that you could grab him from where you were without spending movement. So you still have 15 feet of movement to be able to pull.
All right, and can I use a dash when I'm pulling him as an action, or is that not?
I suppose you could. I mean, there's nothing in the rules that says you can't. So as long as you're going to spend your whole action, basically, pulling as hard as you can like that.
30.
Yeah. But you still have Borox in the way.
Yeah. Okay. Is that correct? Or did I
you would be to right there, and you could pull him to right there.
Okay.
Which is better than being in the middle of it like he was, but that wall comes swinging around all the way down to here. It actually would be covering a little bit more space than that, but basically covering all of this, including you and Borox and Parthios inside of this, and of course these two other sticks have now been lit up as well. And drop these on here. Doing 19 damage to each of you. Well, except to Borox, who takes half because he's a bear totem. So.
He has elemental resistance too on his rage.
Yeah, the only one that bear totem doesn't resist is psychic.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. So a good amount of damage.
I just know the bear totem wouldn't. The fit narratively for the character.
Yeah, you got to go
That would've
Totem
been-
Warrior, but then which is
Yeah.
it's a cool one. There's a lot of really cool ones in there. The
Yeah.
Bear Totem is just one of them, but there's like Elk and Eagle and stuff that all have different effects. They don't all have resistances to all damage types. But that one, the Bear Totem one, is like the super tank. It's basically that you take half damage from everything except for Psychic.
Nice.
Which means then I have to throw like the little brain guys and mind flayers and shit like that at you to kill you that way.
The orders.
Where did... There he is. Okay, so as this wall comes sailing through, it's a little bit of an anticlimactic sound. Comes just roaring through. Parthios frozen in place. You're still holding, basically dragging him by the hand. This just burns through, and you see the kind of light in the eyes beginning to just fade. He's gone unconscious and is on fire. Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action move this. Nora?
Okay. Norik has half of his health left, so I mean it's still useful when it comes around to his turn.
Yeah, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here.
Okay. Alright. You were dashing to get all the way up there?
Yes.
Alright. That it for your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Sarah's turn.
Alright, so can I still cast?
I cut out just a little bit there. Can still do what?
Can I still cast a spell?
Yeah. Oh, you are restrained. Let's see. Let me look at the effect here. I'm pretty sure you can. I think it's basically you just can't use somatic components. So anything with an S on it. Or it might be a disadvantage. Let me check this real quick. Restrained condition.
What if it's not an attack spell, it's just a self?
If it has an S is where the trouble would come in. Speed becomes 0, can't benefit from any bonus to speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, and it has a disadvantage on dex save. So it does not mention anything about it. You can still use your hands. So never mind. No restriction on your spells.
Then, knowing that even if I get out of this, I can't dash far enough to get away from this, I'm going to use False Life on myself.
Okay. Just to try to give yourself a little extra buffer in case that wall comes over you.
Yeah, well, I know it's coming, so
All right.
I can't get out of it.
Okay. Then that's an action to cast, not a bonus action?
Yeah, it's an action.
Okay. Any bonus actions then?
Uh,
Because I mean, you could have used your action to try to free yourself.
yeah, but even if I freed myself, I wouldn't be able to get out of the way of the fire,
Sure.
so hopefully I can give myself enough life to be alive.
Okay. That's totally fair. You have, with that, let's see, you have 9 HP, so you've got 17 hit points to potentially live through without getting knocked unconscious. You already drank your potion too, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. The shaman then, seeing this wall coming and carrying you, is going to try to GTFO as well, because he doesn't want to get burned either. So he's going to go 5, 10. His is 30, so he can't go that far. He can only make it to here, carrying you.
That
After-
reduces movement speed.
It does. He only moved 15 feet.
Ah.
He has 30 feet movement normal, so he moved 15 feet. But seeing that you just casted a spell, what were the components for False Life?
Let's see.
False Life are VSM. Okay, so you did have to murmur the incantation, so he's going to take his other hand, drop his club, and hold it over your mouth so you can't cast spells anymore. At least trying to. That he would still be able to try. You would just have to bite his hand or something first. And that's it for his turn. Sai's turn.
She's gonna move a bit more farther away.
Okay. Parthios, who is unconscious, has to make a death save. He failed. He rolled an 8. So he has one fail down, and he's on fire. So, actually, it's 2 fails down, because he just took damage from the fire as well. He gets one more fail. If he takes any more damage or If he rolls, if it comes around to his turn again and he rolls and he fails on his death save, then he's dead. And he is on fire, so if his turn comes around again, he will immediately take fire damage. So just keep that in mind. He's got 2 sails down.
Does Norak still have a potion?
I think so. But
Yeah.
Norak's also in the fire right now, so...
Is the Norak's his only hope?
that's your guys' concern, not mine. I don't gotta worry about all that. Borox, though, seeing that he's closer to one side of the fire than the other, is going to punch Norak again. Because why not?
Rude.
Even though he's on fire. He missed, though. And is going to turn. You'll have an opportunity attack if you want to. And go 5, 10, 15, 20. He can make it to here. No, one more. Hits. I thought that was a miss sound, but when I looked over at the thing, it was hit. Good damage. Okay. And he is out of the fire and is now spinning around, kind of seeing what's happening. It is your turn, G.
Okay. I'm going to...
Why did your rage just fall off?
Has it been enough turns?
That is it. Yeah, does it really only last 10 turns? It's around 11 right now.
It's a minute, I think. Yeah. So,
Yeah, shit. This fight's been going on for a full... we never have fights last for a full minute. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but with everything going on and having to light all the braziers without being able to use magic, it's
Yeah. I wanted to make it a fun fight for you guys. Hopefully it was.
Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing as last time and use my movement and dash and stuff to see if I can move Parthios with me and drag him out of the fire, out here. So.
Okay. All right. He is on fire too, though, and that fire, once he's out of there, just keep that in mind, he's still on fire. So even if you get him out of the wall, he's still going to be on fire. Make sense?
All right. Then, yeah, I'm going to drag him out, and then if I can, I don't know if I still have enough action left, I'm going to try to pat him out.
Well, if you're using your action to dash to get 30 feet.
All right, well, let's see. 5, 10... Well, actually, I don't even
you know
need to
that the
dash,
wall...
do I?
Well...
Because it's moving the other way, so...
Yeah, but he's going to be behind you if you're the one pulling him. So can you move 15 feet and get him out? Because you need to move 20 feet, essentially, to get him out of there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to...
I mean, you could try maybe pushing him. That would make it harder, though. The DC is going to be higher if you push him in front of you instead of pulling him behind you.
All right, I'll see if I can
All right.
do that instead.
Make it an athletics check, and because rage just fell, you're not going to have advantage on it anymore. Okay. You push him as best you can, and you can make it the full, the 15 feet, but not any further than that, which means he's going to be 5, 10. He's going to be about right here, and you're still inside the wall of fire right now. You're not going to take more damage from it or anything. It's basically, as it moves, it's going to be moving off of you, thankfully, because you're at the edge of it. But he is still on fire, and you don't have your action anymore. Any bonus actions?
Can I just yell at Borox to tell him to come over here and assist this little calf?
Yes, Borox.
If he even has a turn, but
He doesn't right now. I mean, when his turn comes around.
Sorry, he was inside the spirit.
He was, yeah.
His turn started.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna give you some opportunity to retcon there, but I don't think that's fair to do. Because I mean, you made a right choice for what Norak probably would do, anyways. So I think that's fair as you did it. The healing spirit was behind you too, but pushing through it would potentially mean pushing him further into the fire as well. So the flame wall spins around yet further, around over here, and sure enough, it does ignite the last 2 bits of the majigs here. Oops, not the pointer. I need... I'm just going to leave the token, doesn't matter. Which the crowd just erupts in a final kind of roar of everybody stomping their feet with a stomp, stomp, clap kind of a sound, like a "We Will Rock You" kind of a chorus going through. But there's clearly a kind of a panicked, is Parthios. They don't like Parthios, and he's made that very clear. Like he's told you every time that he comes out here that they boo him, but they may not necessarily want to see him die. That did roll through, though. It is over there. It is going to be 20 damage, 20 damage to Seraphina.
Oh, I am so down.
Yeah, I think you had like 17 or whatever. So with the shaman holding you up, hand over your mouth, the flame wall comes roaring through and you feel your skin begin to burn, and it's just too much. You just go unconscious being held there. He's still kind of holding you aloft. He actually has to take the damage as well, which is not enough to knock him out. Yeah, your Eyes of the Grave? Or what is that?
Shadow.
There you
Shadow
go.
of the Grave. Do I just cast it?
I don't remember how that one works. Let's take a look. Shadow of the Grave. When damage reduces you to 0, you can make a charisma save DC plus the damage taken. The damage taken was 20, meaning a DC of 25. Oh, wait. Well, it's plus the damage taken. It's not the amount that puts you over. So you'd have to roll a natural 20, which is still worth rolling. I mean, you have a 5% chance of rolling a natural 20
Yeah, why not? We'll try.
on a charisma save.
Oh, god damn it, I still have him. Targeted.
Just to make a charisma save at the top. I probably could encode that. I just don't have it encoded in there right now.
Oh,
Nope. But you are unconscious. You were knocked unconscious by it, so you're not going to be automatically caught alight. But if you're still in the well, actually, you wouldn't be unless he pushes you back into it. You wouldn't be still in the fire on the next turn. So you're not on fire. You just got burned until you kind of got knocked unconscious. And once the flame moves off of you, it won't be still on you anymore. Artemis' turn.
Okay, I'm going to move.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I've neglected something there. Once the last thing lights up and the crowd starts to roar and go crazy, the worm starts to lift its head up, and the flame gout is still coming out, but it's basically pointing straight up in the air now. Not pointed out anymore.
Okay, well, I'm still gonna move there so I can move the spirit here.
Okay. Okay, shit, it was in range, huh? Okay, so now we have to figure out how the ruling would work of when it comes to his turn, does the damage roll first or does the healing roll first? Because if the damage rolls first, he's dead, like dead, and the healing won't work. If the healing rolls first, then he's immediately made conscious, and then the damage, the fire could potentially knock him out again, but he would have a new, fresh round of saves.
Well, the problem is, even if I get to him, I can't give him my potion because I can't actually. I'd have to dash to get to him, and even then, I wouldn't be able to.
No, you're fine. What you did is right. What I'm saying is that should the ruling apply? I don't think there's anything in the rules that say whether the heal should apply first or the damage should apply first. Because basically, on his turn, as soon as his turn starts, he's in the range of the healing spirit, which means the heal would heal him. He's also on fire and unconscious, which means the fire will also damage him. So it's just a matter of deciding which should happen first. Does the heal happen first, or does the damage happen first? And I don't think, because there's not very many of these kinds of effects that happen, as soon as your turn starts. Never mind. I think I know what it is.
Healing word got there before his turn started, so it would have a chance to start working on it before he even did his death save.
Potentially, but here's the difference, though. Death saves are rolled at the end of your turn? No. Death saves are the beginning.
At the beginning, because we had done it.
Because we did that a few weeks ago.
On mine,
yeah.
And then you said, "Oh no, shit! It was supposed to be at the beginning, so I would have had a turn out."
Yep. So I was thinking it was the other way around, meaning that the healing would have gone first. So let me Google this real quick.
But they both start at the start of the turn.
Yeah, well, that's the question though. So now it's just a toss-up. Like, do we literally just make it, a coin flip for whether this NPC dies, or do we, roll one or the other? So let's see here. See if I can find an answer for Googling this. Okay, how to resolve multiple start of turn triggers. Normally I wouldn't bother putting this kind of effort in, but because it's literally like potentially killing off this NPC. I mean, it's still there's resurrection options and things like that, but you guys don't have access to those kinds of spells yet. In rare case, effects can happen at the same time, especially at the start or end of a creature's turn. If two or more things happen at the same time on a character or monster's turn, the person at the game table, whether player or DM, who controls that creature decides the order, which is basically just saying I have to decide.
Yeah. Roll a d20.
Yeah, so here's what we'll do. Who wants to roll for it? Like I'll let you guys roll, and you're going to roll a d4. A 1 or a 2 is the damage comes first. A 3 or 4 is the healing comes first. So who wants to roll for it?
Becky said she's out. My rolls haven't been very good tonight, but what do you think, Fox? That's up to you.
My luck is normally pretty horrible.
That's true.
I mean, you did decide to name yourselves the natural ones for a reason, so.
Well, it'll be fitting that they're mad at Norak if one of the Miotau dies, so.
Yeah, but it's not
There it
Norok's.
is. All
But
right,
the
well.
issue is that it's not Norok's fault. It's the shaman's fault for locking him in place.
Yeah, so keep in mind too. I mean, this thing is a dangerous game for sure. Like people still, accidents still happen. It's just that's not your goal. But that the crowd hated this guy anyways. Like it just makes it extra, dramatically amusing that they booed this guy. This would have been his first time actually succeeding, and then he gets killed, which had nothing to do with Norak. It wasn't Norak that killed him. It was just it was Ben.
It was the shaman.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, it was the shaman that killed him.
Yeah,
So
but it was
it's-
Ben's role. It's not that has nothing to do with Norak. It's they wouldn't hold that against Norak for that. So
It just had to be a natural one.
it did. Yeah, it's just extra amusing. Now, like if I'd had you roll a 20, that would have been a little better odds because you had a 25% chance of rolling a 1 in this case. But still,
But the thing is, if it would have been Becky, wouldn't you have been able to re-roll if it was a natural?
no, because this isn't really an effect. This is
Right,
just to
okay.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
this is basically flipping a coin in a digital means is all. So, I mean, it's Artemis' turn. The healing spirit is there. I suppose. I mean, if there's any other means, but if anything to do, Sarah is still unconscious. So, is that the end of Artemis' turn?
Yeah.
Okay. It
Like,
is.
there's not much else I could do.
Yeah. It is Sarah's turn. Go ahead and make a death save.
Oh man, I think this is the first one I've ever had to make.
Didn't you have to make one when Cogret smacked you on the bridge?
Yeah.
Did I? I thought I got brought back up before.
You might have. You
before
might
my
have.
turn.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe you did.
I used a potion before. She had
Okay.
to.
Okay. I know Fox has made at least 2 times she's had to make death saves.
3.
Yeah. You remember where they're at? Go to your main tab. And they're at the bottom.
Oh, you hit dice, right? Yeah.
No, yeah, right next to the hit die. Yeah, you just click the red button. That's a failure. That makes it extra because you guys made it through all of these challenges. Like I didn't give you guys a proper long rest or anything like that. You make it through all of it successfully, and then an NPC who like was an underdog anyway, and then Sarah gets knocked out right at the end, like literally after you've already succeeded. All right, the shaman though, seeing that you've gone limp, that you're obviously unconscious, kind of well, you don't see this of course, but everybody else would. He kind of like sets you down, like doesn't drop you, but he basically is holding you by the back of the neck, just like sets you down to where your feet are on the floor, and he's kind of just like he just gives you a good smack like across the face with a hand trying to wake you up. Not enough to hurt you, but enough trying to wake you up. He doesn't have any kind of a medicine check or anything of that. He doesn't have. It's possible that he should. The NPC didn't have one when I built it, but it's possible that he probably would have some kind of ability to do so. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Yeah, that since this is already over, he's not gonna leave you unconscious. So he picked up his things, but he didn't have any kind of a potion or anything on him. I'm gonna say it's just basically a medicine check. He's going to kind of smack you awake, trying to make a medicine check because he doesn't have spells or anything to do it. He rolled a 19. Yep. So 22
Nice.
total. So you fell unconscious with this wall of fire kind of rolling over you, and then you see stars and are smacked awake by this big, meaty, stupid hand of a Miotau, as he's kind of holding you by the back of the neck, and now like where it was obviously in anger before, now it's like hey, wake up, little kid, like a much more not a gentle smack, I guess, as much as it could be from a Miotau. But you are conscious anyways. You're still you know what, actually the best you can do with the medicine check is stabilize. You're actually not conscious, so but you are stabilized. You're not making death saves anymore, so never mind about the waking up part. Sai's turn.
Okay, Sai's gonna go over here.
Okay, she doing anything or just running over there?
She's just running over there and
Trying to check on Sarah?
with her paw. Yeah, she's
Okay.
just like curling up on her.
Okay. Sarah's basically like hanging limply, but her feet are on the ground now. Parthios. that yawn was his final noise, as he is still on fire. The healing spirit being on him, not enough to counteract the flames that are kind of burning through his skin. He is not just unconscious, but is dead, like toast dead, toast almost literally. Borox, what's that?
Need him later. We're gonna have steaks. Well done. We'll have steaks.
You know what? Actually, it's funny because you guys. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you that. We'll save that for another session. Borox, in seeing that though, rushes over trying to kind of help Parthios, but then sees that it's too late, and there's a kind of the look on his face, especially as big as he is visible to the crowd. And then there's just a pall, just a hush that falls over the crowd as they recognize that Parthios is still frozen in place. He hasn't fallen yet because he's got whole person still on him, but that he's dead. All right, Norik's turn, and then that is basically it's it after that. The game is over after this, so like there's no more combat or anything to be had. But Norik doing anything?
I'm just gonna ask the shaman to release the hold, and I'm gonna pick Parthios up so I can carry his body out of the arena. At least have some kind of dignity. So.
Okay. All right. The shaman is trying to revive. Oh yeah, you had to heal there too. Trying to revive Sarah. I would say that amongst this, basically, that you guys could, of course, help Sarah wake back up again, as well as the kind of dramatic scene of Norik carrying the Miotao out. We will go ahead and end there as far as the gameplay is concerned. But let's go ahead and do that. Actually took a lot longer than I expected anyways.